Hot girls have messy rooms, everybody.
As dudes, unless there's like a hypodermic needle there, we don't care.
Yeah, unless it's like a biohazard.
Even a minor biohazard's okay. You know what the hell's going on?
Not much. I mean, a lot, but
A lot?
I've been booked and busy. I'm in LA right now for a couple scenes that I've been really excited to shoot. And I'm just getting ready for a really jam-packed year.
Sick. Wait, I'm glad we know we're in LA because I was confused for half a second. I'm like, wait, we're not in LA?
No, we are in LA.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in my apartment. I hope it didn't move on me.
LA, yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Did not magically teleport to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now that that's established.
Established, we are in LA, not Vegas.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
So what have you been out here doing?
I have been out here doing some content trades and doing some networking, some She Seduced Me scenes the last few times I've been out in LA. I've been doing lots of really fun stuff that you don't necessarily get to do in Vegas. It's different. But yeah, I'm out here now about once every month, if not twice a month. So I don't know. We'll see how long I last in Vegas before I end up in LA.
How long have you been in Vegas?
So I never say born and raised because I grew up in New York the first half of my life. And then I was in Vegas from 10 to 20. So like the formative years of my life.
Just in time to get a bad Clark County education. Got it.
Exactly. The time to get the worst education possible and to experience the most debauchery I will ever experience. Lessons. Yeah, so I've been in Vegas for a minute and then I was on the East Coast for a second. Didn't like it. There's not much going on there that works with my work and my industry, where I was located at least in the DMV. It was kind of a little dry, so I moved back out to Vegas. Yeah, and I love it.
I love that you're like, oh no, I'm conscious of the fact that Vegas locals get real angry if someone claims born and raised and they're not.
Yeah, no, they really will. Or if they say Nevada and not Nevada, that they'll like literally crucify you.
I lived in Vegas for a couple of years and I have friends that are born and raised and they fucking get on me about that shit.
Yeah, I used to, fun fact, I used to work in politics and I remember like talking to a political official and I used the phrase Nevada because I was still young and I was from New York and that's how I said it. And literally they interrupted the meeting to be like, did you just say Nevada? And I was like, I didn't know it was that serious, I swear. And then I never did it again.
Just ended your career in politics right there.
Just ended it.
See, you could have brought reforms about. You could have fixed all this shit.
Decrimmed sex work. I could have fixed it all.
But no, you had to mispronounce the name of the state.
And now it's all just fucked.
completely fucked.
Yeah.
We still have weird fucking antiquated brothel laws.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know, but Nevada actually has the highest arrest rate per capita for prostitution and solicitation, even though we're the only state in the country with regulated brothels and sex work and prostitution.
Well, it's because Clark County, it's not legal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's too large of an area, right? The cap is what, like 150,000 people or something like that.
I think it's only 100,000.
100,000, even smaller. Great. Yeah.
It's like, got to go out to Nye County.
Literally, I'm going to be doing my first brothel visit in January, actually. I'll be working at Sherry's Ranch for a little bit in Pahrump. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to be in Pahrump for a week. No clue what's out there, but I'll just be busy, doing my thing anyway.
You can't really leave the brothel anyways.
Exactly. I'll be having a great time with their amenities and my iPad watching Hulu when I have downtime.
Well, hopefully you don't have much downtime.
Hopefully. That's the plan.
Hopefully it's just a lot of...
Come see me.
Hopefully it's just a lot of tour, dick check.
Yep, exactly. It'll be my first time at a brothel, so I'm very excited to see that, that field of the industry, especially since it's the only place in the U.S. you can actually engage in regulated full-service work. It's really fascinating, and I appreciate the added layer of safety that it provides. I'm super stoked.
It's awesome, but it's also just weird that, if you leave the brothel for over 24 hours, you have to get retested and shit.
Yeah, you're literally locked in for sure. You are kept there. And they always, like, they say they have a lot of great amenities, and I'm excited, and I've heard really great things about the brothel I'm going to. So I'm not like worried at all, but it is kind of like I get a little, what is it, stir crazy. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be probably like FaceTiming people every downtime moment I have. Like, please, I'm in Pahrump and I'm stuck.
What making you decide that you want to do it? Just for the experience, or?
Well, a little bit for the experience, a little bit because I've dabbled in a lot of fields in the industry. Like I used to cam, I've done content creation. Now I'm doing more mainstream work. I have done some BDSM work, and I really wanted to just expand my repertoire and see. And, I have a lot of fans who are really dope and who want to meet me, and I want to be able to do that in a safe and like legal way.
Without worrying them ruining your content trade?
Yeah. So I'm really stoked. And, I love fucking. So like it didn't take much to convince me. I was pretty sold. I saw a lot of colleagues that were going over there. So I was like, no, this might be good for me. I should give it a try. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I stick with it. But the plan is to, and to continue doing my mainstream work and my content creation and like, do a week here and there. But it should be really intriguing. I've never done it, so we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, it's 1 week out of your life.
Exactly. And if it bombs, it bombs. And then I know, and I've had the experience, and I can say, you know what, I did it. I worked in a brothel.
So what's your sales pitch? Because from what I understand, a lot of that job is the fucking sale.
Oh, yeah. Closing the deal.
Yep.
I mean, it all depends on the person. The sales pitch has to be tailored to the person you're talking to, right? So before I did porn, I used to work in marketing and communications. So I have a little bit of knowledge around that. And I had a concentration in communications for my bachelor's degree. So I actually love communications and marketing and like really figuring out what makes people tick. So I try to tailor the closing of the deal to the individual. So I don't know, like it depends on what their vibe is, like what, if they're nervous, if they're stoked, like it all kind of varies.
How do you close a nervous guy who's never been to a brothel before?
Oh, you have to play the sweet, innocent, like, I mean, at least how I've closed in previous instances of online sex work, it's like, they might be scared to admit that they're like, a client, right? They might be scared to admit that they're actually seeking services from a provider. Like, it's like there's a lot of stigma and like they might feel weird about it. So a lot of the times it's just like painting yourself as this like innocent girl who's trying to make money to go to college, like.
But you already have a persona. You have that, so that makes it a little difficult because like
it's different. I have a feeling the people who are going to come to see, I already have a couple fans who are planning to come see me. So I have a feeling the people who are going to be visiting me will already be revved up and ready to go. But I'm sure I'll have a few shy guys, and I know how to get people out of their shells for sure.
Nice. I have never actually stepped foot, but like one of my friends who's in Vegas, like has some family that's involved with one of the brothels, and then another buddy of mine was managing one of Hoff's old brothels. So like I've heard a bunch of stories. I've never no firsthand experience on it.
Yeah, I have no firsthand experience, except one time I got stranded in the middle of the Nevada desert next to a brothel, but I was like 17, so I had to stay in this weird alien superstore next door. It was like a mini market, and all the adults that were stranded with me because we were on a trip were in the brothel hanging out, and I was like, this is bullshit. I want to be an adult, and now I'm going to be an adult in the brothel servicing people. So here we are.
Thankfully, they had a mini mart. That would have just sucked if you was like, I'm
on
stuck
the side of the road, literally.
Like,
thankfully, the mini mart existed.
Right? It's like at least refreshments.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to have some firsthand experience. And I do a lot of sex worker advocacy, right? And I do a lot of work with collectives like Suede, the mutual aid fund for sex workers in need who need harm reduction supplies or microgrants. Check them out if you don't know them. So, doing a lot of sex worker advocacy, it's just like, it's going to be really, really interesting to see this like whole new field.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And, the old school drinking buddies, they know Suede. I used to do a bunch of shit with them. Like
they're great.
They are absolutely are. I'm
angels that walk amongst us.
I'm really bummed. Like I fell off and just wasn't able to like honor my commitment to be there weekly to help them raise money.
Things happen, life's move on, and then other people come up and they get like trained up, and then they pick up the slack, right? Like we need new people to come in and to keep carrying the energy.
For sure. They were sick of me anyways. It's cool.
I doubt.
They're like, he's gone. Okay, cool.
I doubt that. They're
I know.
so lovely over there.
No. Cody, Summer, the best. Tegan.
So sweet. Honestly, hi, Cody and Summer, if you're listening. I adore you.
Same. Like, we're supposed to get Cody back on. Just it hasn't lined up when she's come through to LA, and I haven't made it out to Vegas in a while. So.
Oh, you should come through. It's always a fun time. Are you going to AVN?
Nope.
Hard nope.
It's one of those things where, like, I've done a lot of AVNs over the years.
Yeah.
A lot. And it was all fun and games when, like, I was roadieing for people and, like, just had to be in a booth. And the minute the show was over, I could just fucking get wild and have fun.
Yeah. You were a booth babe?
So my audience has heard this, but how I got into the industry is I used to be a roadie for girls. Like, I used to, do convention servant and do, like, feature gig shit like that. I was the dude who scooped dollars and brought the suitcase. And
amazing. Important work.
It kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
It was a gig.
Gigs are gigs.
And
you need them all. Exactly.
And it was one of those things where, like, I used to have a lot of fun at AVN, and being paid to be there, it's like, oh, cool. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The last couple of AVNs I went to, like, doing this, like, the content I get there, I'm never happy with. I have people for, like, 10, 15 minutes, and that's not what this show is.
Yeah, no. It's slam-packed. Also, like, it's so hard because the first piece of advice I got about AVN was you have to stay flexible. You have to stay flexible. You have to stay fluid because things are going to change last minute. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. Like, you just have to expect that your trades might not come through. Like, people are partying, people have other pre-arranged commitments. Like, so if there's anything I learned about AVN, it's those 15 minutes of fleeting time sometimes are all you get, and you better treasure them if you're networking and just keep it going.
Exactly. But I'm not looking to spend the kind of money it takes for me to do AVN to get content I'm not happy with.
Yeah, no. I just found out today that I'll be working AVN with Spank Chain, so I'm super excited, repping Spank Match. So I'm super excited to just be able to be there and, like, actually work the event. And last year I went with Suede and I volunteered handing out harm reduction supplies. But this year I'll actually be able to work it, which feels really awesome and exciting. Like, in 1 year's time, I went from, like, volunteering to now I'm working it.
Hell yeah.
Which is I'm super stoked. It was my first AVN last year. I've been meaning to go for years, but it always overlapped with another, like, thing in my life or something. And then I was like, oh.
I understand. You had to go to SHOT Show. You're like, guns take priority over sex work.
I gotta go get my Glock. I don't know.
The years AVN was happening during SHOT Show was always the weirdest show.
I can only imagine, like, what kind of crowds that could have attracted to the after parties, to the downtown, everything.
Oh, hanging out at Circle Bar at Hard Rock, like, with us and SHOT Show people at the same time. It was really, really weird. This had to be like 2014 or 2015. I had people from SHOT Show, like, figure out that I was the roadie security for somebody, and they're like, dude, how do I do what you do? Like, I'm ex Special Forces. I'm like, you will be criminally underpaid for your skill set.
Yeah.
Don't do it, man. Like, don't do it. No one in the adult entertainment industry has ex Special Forces fucking security money.
No, nobody does. Also, it's like, I find that a lot of times men just want to get into the industry to be close to hot women, right? They want to be closer to these hot ass bitches. And I don't blame them because we're dope. But it's like, look, go do some other security gig. You can get paid way better and, fuck hot bitches elsewhere.
Right. And it's a lot less headaches at times. Like,
yeah, I can imagine.
I've definitely had some drama over the years.
Oh, yeah. This industry, like, I appreciate this industry for the family feeling that it has and, like, the support that a lot of sex workers offer. But there is a fair share of drama that we cannot deny, as is in all families.
Exactly.
Drama.
I mean, we were literally talking about some of the drama before we got on air.
Yeah, literally. It just happens. And it's like, people are people and people are complicated. And you just have to keep it pushing, be professional, be amicable, and hope that they do the same.
Right. And
which is always the gamble.
It doesn't always happen, but
yeah.
All you can do is control your own reactions.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control how other people are going to act. You can only control you. So it's like,
exactly.
If someone's going to be a crazy person, you're just like, okay, you're being a crazy person.
Like, I'm not going to match that energy.
Right.
Maybe when I was like 17 would I have matched that energy, and when I was 19 and reckless, but I am too grown now to be matching energy like that. I keep it pushing, and, like, I always say, like, just mind the business that pays you. And if you do that in this industry, you will have a much more successful career. If you're minding the business that pays you, you will be on track.
100%. And also, everyone gossips. So
Yeah.
if you're like, that's the person that always causes drama, everyone will know.
Yeah.
Everyone will fucking know.
And people don't think that people talk in this industry. I've realized that, like, but we all talk. People talk. We talk. We know what's going on. Like, we are gossipers too, like, you know, in this industry. Like,
oh yeah, as we were talking about before, and I was legitimately concerned before you got here. I was just like, oh boy, this may get weird.
No, I'm just super stoked to be here, and it couldn't get weird, I don't think.
I hope it gets a little weird.
A little weird.
Right.
Exactly. Actually, it should get a little weird.
A little weird. Like,
a little weird.
I pride myself on having the show that gets a little weird.
No, it has to be a little weird.
Right.
But the stuff that we're drinking.
Right.
No, it's going to get weird. Let me get on my second drink. It'll get even weirder.
Awesome.
Great.
I feel like I'm going to be censoring stuff in post, which, yeah, it's part of the job.
Okay, well, tell me how to mind my P's and Q's.
Oh, whatever happens. Like, literally, oh shit, this is like a year and a half ago. Had to censor someone's bloody panties because they're others like, I'm going to show the camera. I'm just like,
no,
you're spotting right now. Okay.
Oh no.
Mosaic blurs are your friend.
Yeah, literally. Whoop. We love post.
Pays the bills.
It pays the bills. Yeah, we love when other people do post. I love when other people do.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's what I do in this industry these days.
I know, and I respect you so much for it. I do not have that skill set yet, but I hope to get it one day. I hope to develop it. It just is a whole nother beast. Like, I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, this is a lot to learn.
Yeah, you, like many other people when they show up for this, are like, oh shit, this is an actual set.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like not surprised because I know you'd make really incredible content. I just am always super shocked when I see people's setups because I want to learn from them, you know? Like, I'm building out my house right now to be a shoot rental. So I'm really excited and stoked and set dressing and like starting to figure out lighting like situations. So every time I go somewhere or go to a shoot house, I'm like always making notes. Like, what do they have? How do they have their houses set up? Like, how can I adapt my house? Because I'm always trying to learn and grow and expand my repertoire in the industry. So like, I always am scoping and like, what?
Biggest piece of advice I get you is get rolling C-stands.
Rolling C-stands? Okay, got it.
Then you don't have to pick them up, sandbag them, move them around.
God, I do not want to have a pile of sandbags in my house somewhere.
You should have some.
Some and some apple crates for sure. But like not enough that it fills up a closet or something.
For sure. And the thing about it is like a rolling C-stand is not that much more than like a standard C-stand. And like if you need to adjust the light because the position's moving, whatever, you just fucking roll it. You don't have to fucking pick it up, reset.
Literally everything in my house is on wheels if it can be. Like I'm so dead serious. Like I started to create my own content room. Like that's the first room I'm working on in my house right now. And literally almost everything in the room is on wheels. My clothing rack, my desk, which is a standing desk, is on wheels so that I can wheel it close to my bed for camming. I have like a hygiene cart that's on wheels. Like I don't play around. I want to be able to have the functionality, move that shit around. I'm finicky. I like to reorganize. I like to redecorate. Like I can't be tied down. Like
I get it. It's a good call.
Yeah, the wheels are important to me. I be popping wheels on everything. Like boop boop.
Well, especially if you're gonna be using a shoot house, because like the last thing you want is, people to come over there and like, oh, it's someone else creating the content and like, hey, isn't that Nina's place?
Yeah, to be able to clock it. Yeah. You want it to look good. And thankfully, I'm really lucky to have multiple rooms. So I'll be set dressing like all the other rooms and not using them at all. So like they're going to be really pristine, which is good because my room will be off limits because it's not always pristine. Hot girls have messy rooms, everybody. But the other rooms will be like solely for shoot rentals. So they'll be like always set dressed and pristine. I'm super stoked on them.
So on the messy room front, do you pick it up when you like got a personal dick appointment coming? Or do you just like, dude, this is what it is?
I just shove all that shit under my bed, or I'm a hider. Like I will hide the mess if it's quick. Like I remember one dick appointment I had when I was a little bit younger. I took home this like male go-go dancer from a bar, which already, why'd I do that? Like,
Hashtag Vegas.
Hashtag Vegas. So I took home this male go-go dancer from the bar, and I remember like forcing him to stay in the living room because my room was such a mess. I was like, I need 5 minutes, and I just shoved everything under the bed, in the closet, underneath my dresser. Like I was just like, oh my God, hide it, hide it.
He knew at that
He
point.
had to know. He had to know. And you know what? Whatever. He still got laid. So
Well, and that's what the thing is. As dudes, unless there's like a hypodermic needle there, we don't care.
yeah, unless it's like a biohazard or
Right.
something.
Even a minor biohazard's okay. I've definitely fucked in some rooms where like, how old is that takeout girl?
Oh my God, no, literally it's its own microbiome or whatever. It's growing its own bacteria.
Right. It's just like, I'm not going to touch that or eat it, but yeah, I'm still fucking.
I'm still gonna fuck.
Right. You're down. I'm down. The sandwich can watch. It's cool.
The sandwich can watch. I'm dead. No, I feel that way about men. Like a lot of the men that I've hooked up with, like will leave food out, like as if it never needs to be refrigerated. Like they've never taken a food safety class in their life. Like literally leave pizza on the table for 2 days and still eat it. And I'm like, are you okay?
They're strengthening their immune system.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know. Like, I'd rather them eat dirt than that. Like, go outside and roll around in the mud. Like,
No. Come on. That man obviously has good genetics that didn't kill him.
literally something, a stomach of steel, because if I did that, no, I'd be out. No. Like, I'm very on my food safety. Except with vegan food, I'll admit, vegan food, I'm like a little bit less strict about. Like, I'll leave it out for a little. And I'm flexi-vegan. I call myself flexi-vegan.
What does that even mean?
I will tell you because it's actually funny because I say another kind of similar term for my sexuality. I like to say I'm flexa-lesbian too. Or like, here's how I phrase it when I try to explain it. I like to make vegan choices as often as possible. Just like I like to make lesbian choices as much as possible. I'm not great at either a lot of the time. Obviously, I make a lot of non-lesbian choices, and I'm never going to turn down a plate of food that somebody offers me. I'm not that kind of person. Like if I'm in your home and you offer me a plate of food, like my mom taught me manners, I'm going to eat it even if it's meat. And like if it's culturally significant to you, I'll eat it if it's meat. If it's up to me, I'm not.
Let me go get that rare steak real quick.
Oh yeah, the bloody steak. Let's just fucking do it.
I mean, that's culturally significant to me.
Okay, and then I guess I'll do it.
I'm sure people would pay good money on your OF to watch you eat a bloody steak.
I'm sure if OF would allow a bloody steak.
I know, like, oh no.
Raw animal blood. Even though it's like food dye, isn't it? I don't know how.
So it's not actually blood, but it's
still disturbing.
Well, not to me. It's
oh yeah,
delicious.
this is the flexi-vegan coming in.
It's the juice is like part of the cell structure that makes up blood, but it's not actually blood.
Oh wow.
And I cannot remember the fucking name of it for the life of me right now.
It doesn't matter because you just knew so much, and I you just like boy scienced right now.
Like if you're gonna fucking eat meat, like you need to know.
Yeah, you should know what you're doing. Yeah, I can't cook meat. I won't cook meat because I'm like, I will end up killing someone. Like, I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. It will be raw or wrong or overcooked. I've no, it's not for me.
I mean, if it's undercooked, you just put it back in for a little while.
I know, but then it gets overcooked and everyone's like, this is ass. So I just avoid it at all costs.
It's okay.
But if someone offers it to me, I will eat it. And sometimes I can't help myself. I love Mexican food. If I get a taco in front of me, like, sometimes I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Well, I know. You talk about being a vegan.
Exactly. Okay. I see what you said there. Okay. Wow.
Shots fired. Shots
fired. I see. Okay. I'm a flexi-vegan for the record.
Veganism's like, sexuality, it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum, and I'm vegan fluid.
You're never going to get vegan powers like that.
All the vegans that are listening to this probably hate me. They're like, you aren't a true vegan.
Whatever. Veganism's silly. Because
the extremist veganism is silly for sure. The folks who take it to the extreme and shame other people for their food consumption habits. I don't care what other people do with their lives. That's a your choice thing. And the people who are so extreme about that gets a little much for me.
Well, yeah. Look, anyone who's extreme about enforcing their views on anyone else is a problem.
Yeah.
Period. Like, as someone who eats meat, I think factory farming is fucking gross.
Yeah, we can acknowledge like that things are problematic or like there's nuance or context.
Whoa. It's 2023, almost 2024. Nuance context in America? Whoa.
Nuance or context, right?
Whoa. We don't do that in America.
We don't do that.
It's this way or this way,
it's
period.
Black or white. There's nothing. Literally, I've been thinking about that a lot with all the Twitter threads coming up lately, with all the things happening in the industry. Like, there's just not enough characters to capture the nuance. And trust me, there's a lot more nuance than we can share in 140 characters or whatever. Or if you're Twitter blue, however many characters you get. A lot. Because people write novels now on Twitter. And I'm like, how do I do that?
Spend $8.
Spend $8. So I've been blocked.
Why? What'd you do?
Well, okay, you know,
Sharing vegan recipe?
I was a whore and someone probably reported me and they just hated me. But I get worried that if I verify that they're going to find me again, they're going to be like, pop me.
They're much less likely to pop you if you're giving them money.
Fair. But I thought that about Tinder too. I was Tinder premium for a long time and then they popped me over there too. And I wasn't even blatantly doing sex work over there.
What, you were discreetly trying to do sex work on Tinder?
I was just like, if you want to see more goodies, go to my Snapchat.
Yeah, they are specifically looking for that shit.
I know. It was because I pissed off some man who I turned down and he immediately reported me and it was a goner. It's like always the like one guy who gets like butthurt that reports you that like results in the fucking total completion of your pages. Just like, whoop, gone.
Like, dude, do you really want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you?
Literally, find something better to do with your life.
Oh my God, it's like, she doesn't want to, she's not interested. Okay, on to the fucking next.
Literally, why can't that be the case? And I find that even too in the industry with like male content creators, they'll be so persistent. They can't catch a clue. And it's like, look, move on to the next. There's so many talent in this pool. Someone I'm sure is willing to film content with you. It's just not going to be me. And catch the hint when you're talking to yourself in my messages.
Right.
You've been talking to yourself in my messages for 6 months. Like, it's not happening.
I've been on record about this shit, like for what I do here. Like, I asked twice.
Yeah, no, and I think persistence is key, not to to down on that. Like, I'm super persistent with like directors and producers. Like, I try to reach out about once a month to give like my availability, but that's also different because those are like studios and directors and booking managers. But like some of these men, like, oh my God, the ways they be approaching, oh my God.
Well, and when I say I'd reached out twice, like, I put the ball in your court twice.
Yeah, and that's respectful.
It's like the first time, like, shit gets, coming and doing a Now We Drink is not the end all be all of someone's fucking social schedule.
Yeah.
So, like, I totally get, like, you have a lot of other things going on in your life besides responding to my request to come do the show.
But it's fun. I mean, why wouldn't they want to?
I don't know.
You said, I don't know. It's fucking awesome.
Right. Some people don't like fun. I don't know.
Some people don't like to drink and have a good time.
Exactly. But I'll ask a second time. And, like, if I'm left on red or I'm given some, like, I stop asking.
Yeah, you just like learn, you take the hint, which many people are not very attuned to necessarily. Taking the hint is not everyone's innate social cue. I don't know. But good for you for taking the clue.
Well, and like, there's definitely been times where like people have circled back like 6 months later, like, oh shit, I did want to do the show. Like shit was going on. Like, and like, I don't take that shit personally. Yeah. Now on the flip side, you blow off doing the show and come back 6 months later, I'm not booking you.
Yeah, no, that's different. Especially like people who are like last minute canceling and like have no actual reason to. Like, I understand like if you have like a serious emergency or a family emergency and you can like verify that, like I can like especially for content trades, I'm a lot more free about like cancellation. For content trades, this is different, obviously. You put like so much work into this. Content trades, like we're putting up a couple tripods, some lights, and like we're going at it. But like I have a lot of leeway for cancellations there. But yeah, I can't imagine with something of this high level of production, like canceling, like
you're gonna like convince the internet that I put much more work into this than I actually
I'm just
do.
blowing up your ego, I think, right now. I'm just like, like
no, I can detect lies. I know how much work I put into this.
Oh, you're detecting lies? I'm not lying. You're projecting.
A little bit.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit for the amazing amount of work you've been able to do.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully AVN acknowledges me again this year.
Hopefully. And the fact that you've been acknowledged already, right, says a lot. And if they don't this year, then like, fuck them.
I mean, they will.
Period. Manifest that.
It's not manifesting. They will.
You said, I just know it.
Seeing as I'm having a member of AVN staff on before the award show, yeah.
Oh, yep. That's how you got to do it. It's all who you know, too, a lot of the time.
I mean, I'll just duct tape him to my balcony until I'm on the ballot.
Yeah, literally. Just, casual.
It's casual crimes.
Casual crimes, casual torture. Like,
I'm not going to starve him.
Okay, so it's not total kidnapping and abduction.
No, just minor. Misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor, yeah. We only ever shoot for misdemeanors around here, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, no felonies.
No felonies.
Actually,
the motto of the show is don't admit to crimes on the internet. So
yeah.
That was a joke. I'm not admitting to crimes on the internet.
Yeah. Oh, FBI agents. Anything I say is always a joke if you're listening.
Definitely was not trying to sell that ass on Tinder.
Yeah, never was trying to do that. Don't even worry about that. Like, I always make that joke, like, when I tweet something, like, or no, not even when I tweet, like, I'll text, like, my friend, like, oh, like, I'm so mad. Like, I want to beat this person's ass. And I never mean it because I'm really pacifistic in, like, my actual life. And I'm, like, also, like, I don't know, frail and small. Like, I never mean it, but every time I text that, I immediately follow it up with like, FBI agent, I'm kidding. Please don't come to my house.
That's totally admissible in court. Like, I put the disclaimer, FBI agent, I'm kidding.
I did, I swear. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's just a joke.
So what you need to do is get in with Rachel Wilson, who's a comedian, and her father's the DA in Vegas. So,
all right. You got free game right now.
I don't know her. I just know people that know her.
That's the free game, though. Now I know who to know.
Right?
Now I know who to know. So if the FBI agents ever come knocking on my door, I'm prepared.
You're just like, I'm only like 2 steps away from the DA in Vegas.
At any given point, like, I'm not committing that many criminal acts, everyone. Or any. I'm not committing any criminal acts.
Yes. I believe you. Totally believe you.
Weed is legal in Nevada. That's
which I never thought was going to happen.
You didn't think so? Do you know the representative Tick Seeker-Bloom in Nevada?
I do not.
So he was one of the people who like spearheaded. I can't believe I'm talking about this. This is so goofy. Who spearheaded like the weed decriminalization legislation. And it's so funny because if you would go into his office in the Capitol building, he had 420 memorabilia and weed memorabilia plastered all over his literal legislative office in the Capitol building in Nevada. Like it was like a stoner man cave.
Yeah, but no one goes to Carson City. It's fine.
Yeah, no one goes to Carson City. No one's going to know. I remember like being there on a trip once to like lobby him about some political thing. And I remember looking around and I was so young. I was like, wow, this is wild. He's boldly who he is. And that was before it was like, regulated and like legal. He's always been about it.
I honestly thought the casino and the liquor lobby was going to be way too strong. But then again, the liquor lobby got their piece where it's like, a liquor lobby representative has to transport it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Unless they changed the law when they first enacted it.
Of course.
So like a liquor distributor had to transport it. So like one of the dispensaries that had an on-site grow, they had to have a guy
just show up and walk it down the hallway?
Literally. Vice, I think Vice covered it. Literally, this dude's whole job was to walk it from one end of the hall to the other.
What? I want that job.
You're like, fuck this sex work bullshit.
Fuck this. I want to walk down a hallway back and forth.
I mean, carrying a lot of weed.
Okay, I don't got that much upper body strength.
I mean, you would in time.
I would in time, but do I want it?
I don't know. You get to work for the liquor companies and have access to all the weed you'd ever want.
Okay, fair. You're making points. I do love liquor and I do love weed. So,
which one do you love more?
Oh.
I'm asking the hard questions.
Panics. Well, I love them both together. I love to feel like, crossfaded. Like, I love that. But if I had to choose, like, I guess I smoke weed a lot more than I drink. Like I'm probably like what some people would call a stoner girl. You know, like I'm the kind of person that will smoke at the end of the day. Like I might wake and bake if I'm not working that day, you know, like if I'm working, I'm laying off. I'm not doing that because I like to have a clear mind, obviously, and it's necessary to have a clear mind when you're on set. You can't be on under the influence.
It is? Oh, shit.
Well, this is different. This is different.
Yes, there will be no sex here.
There will be no sex here. Just graphic descriptions of it, maybe.
Definitely. I mean, even if you don't, I'll talk about fucking.
I'll talk about fucking for sure. I just fucked earlier today. We can talk about anything.
Look at you, Miss Fancy Pants. I had sex today. Oh, just rub it in my face. You're like, ha ha, Matt. You didn't fuck today, did you? And you would be correct. I did not.
I had to like check out of my hotel before my scene. And I remember getting in the car and I was like, I can't shower. I think I smell like sex. Do you think he's going to know? I'm like, I baby wiped. Don't worry. I always do a quick, thorough baby wipe. But I'm always like, I feel like I smell like sex every time I leave a porn set. And I definitely have to. Like, there's a smell. There's a scent. There's a
whatever.
Scent.
Like, people know what they're signing up for. Like,
yeah, this is the industry.
Right. Like, oh my God, you smell like sex. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I invited a porn performer onto my podcast and they smell like sex.
Right. Like if you smelled, if I was just like, I could smell you from here, it'd be like, whatever. Like it comes with the territory. There's a reason it's leather seats.
Oh, true. I didn't notice.
I don't need a wood stain. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to think about that too for my shoot rental that I'm making. Like, what fabric am I using and how will getting stains out of it work?
Leather is your friend.
Oh, I hate leather in the summer in Vegas. Imagine sitting on leather in the summer in Vegas.
I have.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair.
Like, just run the air conditioning until it's time to fuck.
Okay, fair.
And like, you can't tell me you don't have a place with air conditioning.
Oh, I definitely have central air. But I'm getting a new couch right now that has washable cushions, and it's a darker colored couch. So
but that sounds like a lot of effort.
Well, I'm going to be hiring people. I'm going to outsource. Do I look like the kind of girl that wants to be a housewife? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You can't turn this hoe into a housewife.
Yeah.
I will be hiring help.
That's a hustler's move.
Generously.
It's a hustler's move to clean your shoot house. That's not housewife shit.
It is a hustler move, which is why I'm outsourcing that hustle.
Some poor task rabbit has to clean your fucking... Like,
I'm going to pay them generously and tip very well. I have very strong feelings about making sure service workers and are treated with the utmost respect.
What's the proper gratuity on cleaning up cum stains?
I guess I will have to find a cleaning company that is very comfortable with the industry, or I'm going to ask around. Actually, you're making a really good point.
Is that 20%, 25?
Yeah, I think I'd have to give a bigger tip if that was happening, or oh my God, squirt stains. Oh my God. Or it's just squirt projectiled all over the rug. Oh my God, I've had that happen on set before. Oh, now wow, you got me thinking.
Yours or somebody else's?
Not mine, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, once I open my shoot rental, it's not open yet.
Well, I meant your squirt.
It will. Oh, my squirt. My squirt is always confined. It's confined to my bed or, in the shower, I have my little places. I've only ever squirted 2 or 3 times on my own, actually. I haven't been able to quite master it with a partner yet.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer. It is a bummer. Although the closest time I've ever gotten to squirting in this industry was with Jack Quicksilver for Transnificent. We were doing the pile driver position, and I got the closest to squirting with another person that I think I ever have. And I was like, okay, wait, we did not talk about this. Slow down. We did not factor this into the scene. And there's a camera right above me. It's going to be splash zone territory. So, I think it's coming for me. It's definitely coming for me.
Well, that's a bummer that it's not coming for come in your real life, off
and my
camera.
Personal, no, I think for me, it's hard because I feel like I have a mental block almost, I have to do it I have to try with a partner in the shower or in a kiddie pool or something, in some kind of water, some kind of running water, because I feel like I have this mental block around this notion that it could still maybe be a little bit of pee. And even if it's pee, I don't care. I love when people squirt on me, squirt on me. I want your squirt on me. But when it's me, I get all nervous and I'm like, oh my God. So I feel like I need to get past that mental block. And then once I get past the mental, I can feel it. It's possible. I can feel it. It's there. It's on the precipice.
So someone just got to get you good and comfortable.
Good and comfortable with the right setting. I have a massive bathtub in my master bedroom. It's perfect. Just put me in that bathtub, prop me up, and like get to work.
Like a water birth.
Like a water birth. That's a different type. Well, I mean, I guess what gets baby in gets baby out, you know?
Right? Someone's going to come be the midwife for your squirt.
I need a doula. I need a squirt doula. Who is going to be my squirt doula? Like,
We will find you a squirt doula.
please.
Why are there not more squirt doulas out there?
God damn it. Someone make a business out of this.
Someone's going to.
Now they will. Maybe I will. Don't take my ideas.
I mean, that regularly happens here is people get a little drunk and we just start coming up with ideas that we're just giving away to the internet.
Literally giving away for free. Oh, God, that's me all the time. I'll be on set and I'll be like, I have this awesome idea for a shoot, blah, blah, blah. And then I just run my mouth because I'm so excited. And then I'm like, I could have kept that in my notes app. And now it's in the world.
What kind of weird shit do you want to shoot?
I want to shoot so much weird shit. Oh, my God. That's such a broad question. Well, first, this isn't weird, but it's something I really want to produce and direct and shoot on my.
Oh, I don't want to know if it's normal.
Oh, you don't wanna know? Well, it's not.
I'm fucking with you. Tell me. I'm
I don't
fucking
think
with
it's
you.
normal. I want to produce a 10-person gangbang with me as like the person being gangbanged. And I want to produce it myself. I've done an 8-person gangbang is the biggest gangbang I've done, but I want to hit 10.
Why only 10 then?
Why, shoot bigger.
Right?
Rebel Rider did 100.
Houston did 600 and change back in the day.
Oh my God. I'm like literally, I have to hit up Tadpole Studios because I want to be a fluffer for Rebel Riders next year. I want to get gangbanged by 50 men, please.
Oh, you're
If you're listening, please.
You're gonna have to fight Wisconsin Tiff on that shit.
Oh my gosh.
That's her gig.
Well, I think there were 6 fluffers this last time.
I mean, I only heard about Wisconsin Tiff talking about it when she came and did the show. So
Oh wow.
she didn't mention anyone else. She was just like, I was fluffing for that.
Oh wow. Well, there's a lot going on, so I can imagine that she was very focused on her. But I think Kit Lacey was another fluffer. I think Kit Lacey was.
You have done more research on this than I have.
I love gangbangs. I love a good gangbang. It was one of my first professional scenes, actually. People are always like, you should slow ball your extreme stuff. And then I started my career with like all of my extreme content, like just hit the ground running. Like I was like extreme anal, extreme gangbangs, extreme like lesbian content. And I was like, you know what? Like, and it's done well. So I'm not like pressed about it, but I'm just excited to do even more extreme shit from here on out.
Do you want to always have a camera involved, or do you want to do some of this extreme shit just for yourself?
Oh my God. Yes, I would love to do this extreme shit for myself. I was literally just talking to a friend, my boyfriend in particular. I don't need to just designate him to my boyfriend, about how I want to be DVP'd recreationally because I've been DVP'd now like 8 or 9 times, like by people in the industry. But it's just not the same as like in your personal life. Like I want to recreationally DVP.
Right?
I just want to recreationally DVP.
Is he down?
He's down.
Cool.
He's down. He's with the shits. We're polyamorous. He's with the shits. Like, we're pretty open and like group sex is fun. I don't know if like people in civilian worlds have done group sex, but if you haven't, I encourage you to. It's just communicate, and you might have a fucking blast. Also, I'm a proponent of fucking your friends in the first place. Fuck your friends. You trust them. You know them. You love them. Fuck them. Why wouldn't you fuck them? Have a fucking orgy.
Some of them I'm not sexually attracted to.
Okay, well, pick and choose.
Sorry, you're not hot enough, friend.
You don't have to say it like that.
Sorry, you make my dick soft.
Okay, worse.
Is that worse?
You gotta just curate the party invitations.
Oh, that's got to be hurtful. Like my whole
Keep it
circle.
on the DL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like 10 people can keep that secret.
Okay, fair.
Like
fair.
nothing like being the 11th friend. Like, why was I invited to that party?
Fair. Okay. Well, I try to exclusively keep people I'm sexually attracted to around me.
Fair.
And I enjoy it that way. It keeps it fun, and it's always a game. I can always flirt, and I can always play.
Fair. Like for me, the idea of polyamory does sound exhausting. By the way,
Oh, it is exhausting.
I'm all about non-monogamy, but actually polyamory, like emotionally investing in multiple partners, that sounds exhausting.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing for me in my polyamorous like exploration and experience. Like, I haven't really been polyromantic. I've been mostly polysexual, right? So like,
Is that just non-monogamous?
it could be, you could categorize it as ethical non-monogamy, right? Like, or an open relationship.
Yeah.
But there's definitely been times where I've experienced like some kind of like romantic attraction to a partner I was sleeping with while I was in a relationship with a primary partner, or a nesting partner, whatever you want to call them. If you know all the terms, all the polyamorous folks out there, you know the terms. Um, so like I've sometimes dabbled in like the like polyromantic field, but it's just like I'm busy. I'm about my business. I don't have time to juggle like 3 romantic relationships at any given time.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. I barely have time to juggle the one I have right now and the work I do. Like I'm trying to be about my business. Like, and for me, like, of course, the people I love are my utmost priority. And like my career, like, is tying. Like I'm a Capricorn, so I have very high ambition. I'm like driven and like hardworking, and like my dreams are like what matter truly some of the most to me. So it's like I value, but like I gotta be working. I gotta be working. I gotta be about my business. I don't have time to be texting you good morning, gorgeous, to 6 people.
Can you just have a bot do that? That'd be a good use for AI.
Memory bot.
That's a good use for AI.
Oh my God, patent it. Again, we're giving out good ideas.
Right?
We're giving out free game.
Oh my God. That is actually an amazing idea. Just having like an AI bot who could fucking text good morning to all your partners.
Literally. If somebody does that, at least credit us. We
Right?
want 20%.
Like 5. I mean, tech money's big. I'm not that greedy. Well, I am that greedy. But.
Yeah. I shoot big so they can talk us down low.
Well, yeah, exactly. My first entertainment lawyer told me you can't ask for what you actually want. You have to let them.
Exactly. Because they will talk you down, or you have to ask them straight up, what's your budget? And then go from there.
Well, even what's your... As a freelancer.
Oh God, I used to freelance. Well, now I guess this is still freelancing, but I used to freelance for marketing and like digital comms. So, okay, I'd love to hear the story.
Well, it's always so what's your budget?
Uh-huh.
Well, what's your rate? What's your budget? What's your rate? Like
back and forth, because they want you to lowball yourself. They want you to say a number that like is low key lower than the budget they have. They want that because they don't want to pay you what you're actually worth.
Right. But the fuck part is like you come in with a number that's too high. Half the time people don't realize it's a negotiation. They're just like, never mind then.
Exactly. And that's why I always say, even in like now in this industry, when I tell people my standard rates, I always say like, look, this is negotiable. Like we can communicate, we can talk, we can see if there's an arrangement that would work. I always try to stick to industry standard rates, I'm not trying to like...
You're not trying to throw out 5,000 a scene?
No. I'm trying to be on par with my peers and my colleagues and what I've learned from them, and like really be respectful of that. And like, I've appreciated those who have shared with me like what they make from their scenes so that I can have a kind of an understanding of that as well. But yeah, sometimes it's hard, like, because I have to always preface with like, oh, this is negotiable, because they'll shut me down if it's too high. Like I had one person shut me down because they were saying that the East Coast just doesn't pay as much as the West Coast, and I'll never get booked out there with my rates. And I was like, these are industry standard rates. This
cool.
Is not, like, I just won't get booked with you then. Goodbye.
Right. Like, I don't need your substandard fucking... If you're not making enough money to pay industry standard rates, why the fuck would I want to shoot with you?
Exactly. Why? And why are you in this business?
Well, yeah.
To have a much better hobby that is more affordable for you. Like, I don't know.
No, they're trying to exploit people. I mean,
Exactly. And that's something I saw on my Twitter thread today, or my Twitter timeline today was literally like, just how many people get into this industry looking for better, like more access to like exploit or take advantage of people, which not always is the case, but there are those like select few people who do.
I mean, it is the case for 99% of the time. Like, I had one of the biggest sweethearts in my mind in this industry once say to me, this is an exploitive business. Mm-hmm. Like,
it's so vulnerable.
And it was just like, I took a step back. I'm like, you are literally like one of the most moral people and like one of the best people. And you're just like saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, literally out loud as fuck. Like, I usually just say, we work in a vulnerable industry, blah, blah, blah. Like it's more rife for like, transgressions, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, no, that is saying the quiet part out loud for sure. It is like an exploitative industry. It can be very much so. And like, especially with newer models, like it's only my first year in the industry, but if I didn't have like mentors like Xander Corvus, like Cody Vore, like Olive Glass, like Summer Hart. Like, I don't think that I would be anywhere near as like with my head on my shoulders, like, you know, firmly grounded in the work that I'm doing. I would have gotten played so much more this year. I still got played in my first year for sure. Like, we all make our baby horror mistakes, you know? We all have to make our baby horror mistakes.
Someone do a content trade and never give you the content?
Yeah, I've done that. I've had that happen.
Always bring a hard drive. Always.
And bring two. Bring 2 hard drives, because if one hard drive corrupts, which happened to me recently, you're going to want the backup. So if you have the financial ability to get 2 hard drives or to have a Dropbox to immediately back it up to, highly recommend 2 backups at any given time.
The Dropbox can take hours to upload. 2 hard
I know.
drives.
I hate Dropbox so much.
It's better than Google Drive.
It is so much better. I wonder, I've been seeing people use WeTransfer. I don't know if that's any better.
So little inside baseball for the folks. So WeTransfer is great for sending files between people, but not actual storage.
Oh, true. Then you have to figure out where to store it. That's the thing. So then we're back at.
I mean, my personal storage solution is I have a fucking NAS.
A what?
It's a device that literally it's network attached storage.
Oh.
It is literally a device full of hard drives that is attached to my network that I could just drag and drop drop files on.
Whoa.
And I can also access it from the web.
I'm a bimbo. I love hearing this.
Stop downplaying yourself. You're like, I'm a bimbo.
I'm a proud bimbo.
I know how to cold read dudes, but I'm a bimbo. What is this technology you speak of?
What technology? Yeah,
yeah.
Literally. Yeah. I've been meaning to get a gaming computer so that I can expand my hard drive capacity for the longest time. Like one of those really good gaming. I've already had 2 drinks. This is going good. Gaming monitors or gaming desktops, because you can just fill them up with so much storage. And I need to get 2 hard drives just to be safe, like just to have a backup.
You need more than that.
Really? Oh, God.
As someone who...
At least there are tax write-offs.
So my desktop has about 20 terabytes of storage.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then...
And you still probably fill it up, huh?
Oh, yeah. And then my NAS has another 40 terabytes right now.
Wow.
And I'm constantly having to shuffle shit around.
Wow.
But you got to also remember, every one of these episodes right now, shot in 4K, is about 250 gigs worth of fucking data.
It's a lot. I've learned that since I've started like doing more content trades and like over the last year and like producing my own scenes and editing my own scenes. Like I've just realized really quickly, like, oh wait, space is not in abundance. Digital space is not in abundance. Like I have 2 terabytes of storage on my phone, which is nice because I work mostly from my phone, which is like, I think a lot of whores do that in this industry. Like we
I know.
Work off of our phone.
I'm painfully aware.
Yeah. So like I have 2 terabytes there, but even that is getting filled up. And then I have like my laptop, which is filled up. My hard drive was filled up. May it rest in peace. But now I've learned a lesson and I will never have just 1 hard drive ever again in my whole life.
Well, and this is why you want to invest in a NAS.
Yeah.
Because you just plug it in your network and like I have a 5 bay. I only have 4 hard drives in it, but you can upgrade to 5 fucking hard drives. And one of the hard drives just exists to be a redundancy. So if one of the hard drives fails, the drive fucking covers it.
Free game yet again today. I'm just like learning so much. Thank you. I'm going to do that.
All in all, it's going to be like probably about $1,000, $1,200 investment. But you're never going to have to fucking worry like, oh shit, where the fuck did my content go?
Yeah, no, because that's way more than $1,200 lost if you lose all your content. If you think about it, it's well worth the $1,200 investment to save the thousands of dollars worth of content that you have stored in your hard drives.
And the beautiful part is like the fact that you can access it remotely from the web. So you're just like,
that's awesome.
Oh, I'm in Prague, fucking shoot. I need to grab this content. Just log into your fucking NAS back home, fucking drop it. I mean, it may take hours to transfer it, but
as it goes.
But you at least can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to do that for sure. Because I'm not very digitally organized nor like physically organized as a person.
I don't know. You were here on time.
I was here on time.
I feel like you were waiting outside for 20 minutes.
I was waiting outside for 5 minutes, hyping myself up. I do that before almost any work-related thing. I have a hype up work playlist. So I usually play like a specific song or two right before I go in and I sit in the car.
What's the song?
Okay, so right now the song is Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. And I'll only say that in case it's copyright.
I don't think the YouTube algorithm is going to catch us on that one.
Don't catch that. But yeah, I've been like so obsessed with that song lately. That's one of my biggest hype up songs. But Megan Thee Stallion, anything really is playing for sure. I usually like try to get there like 5 minutes early so I can park, get in the mindset, really like be in the right headset and like just walk in and feel confident and ready to go. Because there's definitely rituals for me to like getting into Nina, like transitioning like from personal life into like now I'm working. Now I am fully Nina. Not that Nina is not me most of the time now anyway, because this is a full-time lifestyle. So it's like hard to differentiate sometimes. But yeah, I definitely was there a couple minutes early. I often am prompt, or I run on ho time, which people usually think is like mostly on time. Like I'll be like 10 minutes late and people are like, oh, that's expected.
Oh, 100%. Like I was smoking a cigar until you got here.
Yeah. I always am like, okay, I think people account for the ho time that we're 10 minutes behind on makeup or hair.
Oh, I generally give people 30 to 45 minutes. Like that. There have been a handful of people that have shown up like 15 minutes early and I'm just like, well, I gotta finish what I was doing.
Yeah,
like, you actually showed up.
Wait.
I mean, you're welcome to come in and have a drink, but I'm gonna finish my fucking cigar.
Yeah, I'm gonna be kicking it.
Yeah, because I have my own pre-show rituals. So
yeah, of course you need to. Those rituals are so important. And I was just talking to my boyfriend about how I need a post-work ritual too. And I'm like, you make such a good point. I need a wind down. I need a decompress playlist. Like. Usually it's smoking a blunt, but like, not always when I'm on like work trips can I just smoke a blunt in the car when I'm driving back to Vegas after. Well, I'm not driving. I'm getting drunk.
Right. Stop admitting crimes on the internet.
I'm not driving. My boyfriend is driving. Right. I'm getting drunk and we'll be in the passenger seat annoying the fuck out of him the whole drive home.
Sounds like his problem.
His problem. His problem.
This is what he signed up for.
It is what he signed up for.
He's like, I'm the primary. That's the primary's job.
No, he's a sweetie. He's so supportive. I'm sure he's just like happy to be here and happy to see me like doing good things.
Is he a civilian or?
He has dabbled. He's been peripheral. He's been involved. And
so you've turned him out a little.
No, even before me, he's been involved. He knows about the industry, but right now, yeah, you could categorize him as a civilian.
No, I think once you've stuck your toe into the dark side, you're no longer a fucking civilian.
Yeah, at least not a full-blooded civilian.
Right, like, people were like, what, they're not in love? All this isn't real?
Literally mind blown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he understands the business and has been very, very supportive and is like a sweetie, which is rare. Again, I talked about this on another podcast recently, like how rare it is to find people in the dating pools that are actually open to the work that we do.
Oh, and this is a rare, very regular topic of conversation. It's why so many people in the industry end up dating other performers, and then it's fucking disastrous.
It gets messy. I have like almost a rule at this point that I refuse to date other performers. But it's hard because then you date civilians and they don't fully understand what you're doing. They don't fully understand the work that you do oftentimes. Like I got really lucky with my partner right now, that he's like with the shits and he gets it and he's like very understanding and supportive, but like it could have gone any other way.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully if it went any other way, you'd be like,
no, I would have been outies for sure.
Right, because that is the fucking worst.
Nobody's gonna convince me to abandon my career. I'm a Capricorn.
Hell yeah, because it's the tales all the time. It's like the fucking Captain Save a hose. Like, Oh, no. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, they want to white knight you. They want to come in and save you and be like, no, you don't have to sell your body. Blah, blah, blah. I can support you. And then they're bum as fuck too, probably.
Well, and half the time they get resentful that like they're now supporting you. Like, bro, this is what you signed up for to Captain Save-A-Ho.
Literally. And just because I'm buying you nice things doesn't mean you have to be butthurt that you can't buy me the nicest things anyway. Just get your game on and get your hustle on and buy me nicer shit so you don't feel so bad. If you would just hustle, you wouldn't feel so small and insecure. Like a lot of the times I feel like men just like can't handle that their partners might be actually, their girlfriends might actually be bodying them when it comes to the money that they make.
See, this is where I'm a weird dude. Like, nothing brings me greater joy than when I go out on with a performer or something and they buy. I'm like, oh, that's right. People's Furious Masturbation just bought me a drink. That's right. Oh, you would pay so much money to be here right now, and your money's paying for my dinner.
Every time I buy something with the money I get from my shoots or anything, I literally will tell my friends, I'm like, my pussy paid for this. Like, gang, you better thank her. Like,
right. And I acknowledge that, and I'm like, it's not like I'm just being like, oh, hey, I'm going to be here being a fucking suitcase pimp or a bum or some shit. Like, I paid my fucking way too, but
yeah, of course.
In, all my experience, like, for whatever reason, like, a lot of times people I get involved with are like, no, I want to buy. I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you no.
Yeah, I mean, you offered, so you might as well.
Right. Like, I'm not going to tell you no. Like, I don't know if that's a power dynamic thing or
what it is.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm not going to tell you no. But it also, just, as I said, brings me a little bit of pride. Like, that's right. How many loads were spilled to buy my dinner
Literally,
tonight?
oh my God. One of my favorite fans, this is just a funny anecdote, but you just made me think about it. One of my favorite fans just tweeted at me that he emptied the clip watching one of my scenes, and I've never heard that phrase, like emptied the clip. I think that's what he said, emptied the clip. And I was like, oh, so you busted. I'm glad. Thank you. Supporting me. You empty that clip. You bust that nut. I was just like, I've never heard that phrase in my whole life.
I don't like his phrasing. It should be empty the magazine.
Empty the magazine. Okay, I'll let him know.
It's not a clip, bro. This isn't World War II. Use proper gun terminology. Fucking around. Empty whatever you want to empty, man.
Are you a gun aficionado?
I am.
I love to shoot too. I don't know a lot, but I do like to go out with my friends who do know a lot and shoot. I'm a pretty good aim with rifles and long barrels. I'm not very good with a handgun, but
it takes practice.
Handguns are very hard to aim, harder than you would think. I think a lot of people think they might be easier, but actually rifles and long barrel guns in general, or like short barrel rifles, which I think are like illegal. I don't know.
Depends on the length.
Depends on, yeah. Those are like typically way easier for me to shoot and aim. Well, I love to get out to the driving range. Or not the driving range. I'm thinking about golf. The gun range.
Yeah, if you bring a rifle to the driving range,
a bigger problem.
Top Golf might get a little upset about
Top Golf might get a little upset, and the headline might not look great. Might not look great.
No. Then you'd be like,
Don Julio really got me.
You're like, holy shit, I gotta hit up the DA real quick. Like, can we make this go away?
Can we please make this go away?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, rifles and longer barrel weapons have more weight to them, so they're easier to fucking aim, and especially like.
And you have the shoulder, like you have way more grip on it.
Yeah.
And you have like, if you have sights on it, like handguns can have sights as well, but I find it's easier for me to aim with like literally just like the longer barrel and like the sight, and then like having the like shoulder support. I don't know a lot about guns, but yeah.
Yeah, it's much easier to shoot a rifle. That's why like a lot of gun crimes in America, like mass shootings, are committed with rifles because they're easy.
Yeah, they're easier.
Also, it's really easy to shoot people that aren't shooting back. But anywho.
Oh God. We live in such a fucked up world.
Right? Like, I was still in high school when Columbine happened. But
oh wow.
Yeah, I'm old.
I didn't mean to say, oh, wow, in your age. I was like, oh, wow, that must have been like really a challenging experience for you to like to have happen, Like,
well, it was also one of those things where like.
That was one of the first of its kind though, right? It was
definitely one of the first publicized ones. And like, I was a metalhead kid who wore a trench coat. So like, I caught some shit. Because, it happened once and like every school's like, oh, it could happen again.
Who's the school shooter here? Like, who's going to be the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Yeah, I used to do some work around gun violence prevention as well in my previous life. And yeah, I used to do a lot of work, and I have some friends who are from Sandy Hook, and like, yeah, wow, it's wild the way that the world has gone. What does my mom say? It's gone to hell in a handbasket.
I'm not really sure it has. I'm just thinking.
Really?
I think we're just more aware of it.
Oh, I should tell my mom that.
Because it's not like
Her.
school shootings definitely happened before Columbine.
Yeah.
But because it's so much, like, we have such access to knowledge and such instantaneous shit that used to be regional stories get pushed nationwide via Twitter.
If not international.
Right. So people hear about this shit, and like, a lot of these fucking mass shooters are fucking copycats. These are people that 25 years ago probably just would have, self-deleted in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, also a lot of them are being radicalized on the internet, and the internet wasn't the same, but not to say back in the day, but like back in the day, like the internet wasn't the same. Now we have all of these like radicalization kind of like Reddits and like forums and like that are really radicalizing young men in particular to engage in like really wild acts of violence. It's really fascinating. We're totally on a whole nother.
I mean, that's what happens here. That is definitely what happens here.
I love to talk this shit though. I will always talk my
shit. And that's the thing. It's just like, dudes need to just take some ownership of their own fucking shit.
Yeah, for real. I literally was just talking about this. I was like, can men just have support groups and talk to each other? Can men just talk about their emotions? Because I was talking to my boyfriend about how like men lie so much about cheating. Like, I feel like it's not exclusively a male issue. Like, women cheat, women lie as well. But men are pretty notorious for like lying about cheating and being dishonest at times. Not to shit on men, but to reasonably shit on men.
It's not even a reasonable shit on men, because there's no social stigma with us cheating amongst our peer group. Like,
yeah,
like,
it's almost like paraded.
Right. It's like, oh, look at that. I hit that.
Yeah, you're bagging bitches.
Right. It's the weird dichotomy of like, oh, if I have 100 bodies on me, I'm a player. You have 100 bodies on you, you're a fucking whore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I was just talking about it, and I was like, if men would just talk to each other and like, I don't know, share their emotions and their secrets that they bury for years on years on years, maybe we wouldn't be in this position. Like, I just wish men would talk to each other more healthily and like, share your feelings, please. Especially in the industry, talk to each other and share your feelings and learn how to be better men. Like, God, we need like an industry male performer support group where people like learn how to be better to their co-performers.
Well, yes.
Yes,
we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do. But the problem is like, it takes a special mindset to get into this industry and actually be successful at it.
Absolutely.
So, as not someone who ever wanted that job or actually could do that job, I don't personally know what that mindset is.
Yeah.
And there are some good dudes out there.
Absolutely. I know so many.
But also, were they always good dudes? Who knows? Some of them
exactly
may have had to evolve to being a good dude. Like, every dude, at least anecdotally, as a dude, every dude at some point has done some shit where it's just like, man, in hindsight, that was probably fucked up.
I mean, every person too.
Right.
That like every person, especially men, but every person has done something in their life that they can look back on, hopefully, if they have the self-awareness and be like, actually, that was fucked up or problematic, and I should check that. And I think it's just harder for men when they don't have anyone to process that with, or to like see a role model of another man who's done it well, like processing and unpacking that and like figuring out how the fuck to like move after that. Like, I've like known some performers. I've recently started saying, like, when I talk about performers, like in my experience, they were respectful, because I know that not every experience is the same. Like, I could have someone who's respectful to me during my scene, and then the next person, they're not respectful to them. So I've started to shift my language around that. But it's really just like, if men would just talk to each other and share their emotions and check each other, like, instead of like all the women performers having to be the one to call out the bullshit all the time, if the male performers would step up and like be a little more vocal and be like, yo, dude, just like chill. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a group. Let's talk.
Well,
it could change the game.
It definitely could. But unfortunately, like, sometimes we're just fucking unaware. Like,
yeah.
as a dude who's been in this industry for over a decade, like, I've heard allegations against people I know, and it was just like I'm blindsided by it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Good
really?
people can do bad things, and bad people can do good things.
I mean, not to
Good
say
and bad is not. It's a dichotomy.
right.
I don't
Well,
wanna
once
buy into
again,
that.
nuance.
Exactly. There's nuance. No one is neither good or no one's good or bad.
I'm
We
sure
do
there's
things. We
I'm
make
sure there's someone
choices.
who has something kind to say about Harvey Weinstein out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's one person.
One person, and it might be himself, but
Right. But,
But I get what
if
you
that fucking monster has someone who
yeah, like there's so much nuance to it, and that's why it's important, like that before people make all these big fuck ups, we're actually like supporting environments where hopefully male performers in this industry can come together and like talk about the ways that they work with their co-performers, the ways that they approach their co-performers, the ways that they interact on set. And I don't know if I've ever seen that. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen any like male specific support, like, or peer groups in the industry.
it's one of those things where like I've talked about this 100 fucking times. There's no porno 101.
Yeah, no, we're all figuring it out as we go.
Right. And if you have a decade plus of shitty behavior and everyone's tolerated it and everyone's like
Yeah.
celebrating you, even though you've been shitty. Look at fucking Ron Jeremy. How many fucking decades
Yeah.
did Ron exist?
Yeah.
And it was the worst kept secret in the industry
Yeah.
of him just being shitty.
And there are people who I'm sure many folks know of in this industry right now who are like charting that same path, right? Like just generally really shitty, but like are still given accolades and like praised for their work. But in actuality, they might not be the safest person to perform with.
Yeah.
And it's like terrible. And like a lot of times people are forced to perform with people who aren't safe to work with because they need the check, especially if you're a survival sex worker, right? And you need that check, you need that scene. Like it makes it really complicated. And then you also have the judgment from other performers who are like, why would you work with that person? But it's like, if you need the check at the end of the day, you need the check. Like,
well, and then
can't pass judgment on you for doing what you need to do to survive. Like,
I agree. And you also add in the fact that you get people who will, on one side, like a bunch of people like, that guy is the fucking devil. And then you will have a bunch of people who have not had bad experiences with it.
Yeah, he's
like,
so sweet.
He's the best. Like, how could you? That person's making up lies about him.
Yeah, yeah, and then you have the like he said, she said, back and forth. I don't know, like, and I'll name this one because I've seen this one come up a lot, and I feel like there's been a lot of like allegations, like the Heaven POV. Like he in particular has had multiple allegations come out against him and was still heralded for a really long time, and was still like really popularized. And like, there were so many allegations that came out against him and it was still like it's a he said, she said situation. But in actuality, we just need to be really careful about the people that we invite into these vulnerable industries because if people are getting hurt, then like, we have a responsibility to our fellow sex workers to protect each other, right? Like,
but it's also who do you trust?
How do you trust them?
Right.
Like, how do you figure out who to trust?
Right. Like, okay, this person's said, I know the story about Heaven POV, but I don't know exactly like how long he was in.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know how long he was in, but long enough to do some really weird shit.
That is what I've heard.
Weird is an understatement, actually.
But that's what I've heard. But it's like, say you're getting in year one.
Yeah.
And this is an established site.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've heard of that site. Oh, that site wants to book me.
I was trying to shoot with the Heaven POV before I found out all of this. And then I felt like a level of guilt, right? I felt like, oh, I should have known. I should have picked up on red flags. And there's all these feelings. Like, I feel like there's actually like a bigger conversation to be had about like, predators that are in the industry, right? Or people, maybe predators is too strong of a word, but people who transgress like your consent or like cross your boundaries. And I think there's like conversations to be had on both sides of that, like people who are like transgressing your boundaries and then the people who have had their boundaries transgressed. Like, how do we work through this? How do we know how to trust people in the future? And then on the other side, like, how do we not do that again? And like, I've had instances in scenes where like one of my no's was violated, but then like the person corrected immediately and messaged me afterward and was like, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, I apologize. I didn't realize. And that was like a really mature and professional grown up way of like righting a wrong. Like, it made me know, like, oh, this person is actually committed to like doing better as a performer and not hurting people, right? Like, he apologized. It was the only time that's ever happened. And I've had quite a few like consent transgressions on set, as many people have. Like, I know a lot of people, a lot of girls in the industry will say, like, it's not an if you're going to get like assaulted, it's a when, which is a really horrible phrase to hear. You know, it's like a really horrible phrase to hear, but it's like, it's sometimes the truth. And like, that's why I think having male support groups for male performers would be so amazing. Like, y'all got to talk some shit out, let it out, cry a little. I don't know. Like, if you need to slap each other in the face to cry, I don't know. Do what you got to do. Do your hyper masculine shit. I don't know. Like,
the problem is not everyone's self-aware enough to even know that they transgressed you.
Exactly. They're not. They don't even know. And that goes to show my Clark County education. Like, we aren't teaching young people, or like, you know, we aren't teaching people that are new in this industry, like how to act right about consent and boundaries and like how to just act right. We aren't. There's no 101.
There is no 101. And also, it's changed a lot, even in my time in the industry. So when I first got in the industry, there were no like going down your yeses and nos during the 2257 paperwork when you first got on set.
That wasn't a thing. It's still not a thing for some places.
Right, but at least the major companies.
Yeah, major companies are doing it now very well. And they have talent liaisons and they're like really trying.
But these all weren't things 10 years ago.
Wow. I always like, it gives me so much perspective, right? Because I'm coming into this adult film industry at 1 year now. I just hit my year anniversary in November. I've been camming for 8 years on and off. So I'm like not new to the adult industry and doing online sex work for the last 8 years. But I thought it was like, I came into the industry and I'm like, oh, wow, there's a lot of shit going on. And now I hear people talk about their experiences when they started. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm really lucky. Maybe the grass is not greener.
Yeah, it was 30-day tests when I first got in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it went from 30-day to 3-week to 2-week tests.
And now people are talking about 7-day tests. I don't know if you saw that on the Twitter timeline today.
I didn't see it today.
Discourse now about like 7-day urine and swab tests. And like, if we can make it more affordable and like, maybe I'm all for anything that puts our health first, but also we have to factor in like time lost and like, you know, like cost of testing. Like, that's really expensive, especially for people not in headquarter cities where they have to pay for shipping fees for labs. Like, it's just not very like accessible.
But even in a headquarter city, if you're in Vegas or LA or Miami, it's still $225 for a gold panel.
Yes, if you didn't know that, I know. It's expensive to work.
Right, it's a $225. Like, okay, say you get booked once on a professional shoot during that fucking week, and your boy girl rate's $1,000.
Yeah, which is pretty standard.
Okay, you're now making $750.
Yeah.
Before you even show up to fucking set, and heaven forbid, your scene partner can't get it up.
Yeah.
Or you have
gets canceled.
Right. And that shit happens all the time. You are now working at a loss.
Yeah. I remember my first LA trip. I came out to LA for a trip with like a big studio I wanted to work with and I still want to work with, but I had a medical emergency related to like anal prep, which, speaking of, like, more and more people should know that anal prep for anal shoots, if you're using shower enemas, can actually present some dangers. Like, you have to be really careful. But I had like an injury that was related to work and I wasn't able to do my shoot. I had a tear back then and it's like, it's doing okay now. But like, I had to cancel my shoot. And then like, you think about all the money lost, right? Like, I came to LA, I paid for the travel, I paid for the hotel, I paid for my test, I paid for all my beauty services. And then like, when you think about that, even if I had gone to the shoot, you think about all I paid to like get to the shoot, to like prepare for the shoot. And like beauty services alone, like when I calculated how much I was spending on those a month, I did not like that girl math. Like, I did not like that one. I was like, I'm writing all this shit off if I can. Like, God damn, we spent a lot of money on that.
And then you throw in the Uber costs.
Uber costs. And because not everyone covers Ubers. Not everyone, or covers meals on sets even sometimes. People don't cover meals on set and you're like just starving all day.
Yep.
It happens. It's like, but then you find the really good sites. You find the really good producers, the really good directors who really do want to take care of you. And like some people will even offer testing subsidies. I've noticed that with some studios, which is
I've
nice.
never actually heard that outside of the gay side of the house.
Really.
I didn't know anyone on like mainstream was paying for testing subsidies these days.
I've had one studio recently with like it's a small testing subsidy, but like they offer something towards your test, which
That's
is
still
better than
something.
nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's so kind and shows that like you really respect the work the performer is doing and respect their safety and like understand that it costs us to work. And I don't think civilians understand that. It is actually like it's not necessarily quick money or like a quick stack. Like you pay to work in this industry. And if you don't break even that month, you just don't break even.
I had a conversation with someone, Jesus, it has to be maybe a year ago at this point, where like we broke down the math like on air. And it's just like, if you're getting into the industry day one, we're going to do it again super quick, but you get into the industry day one, you have one shoot booked this month.
Just one. Yeah.
Just one. Okay. You're dropping $225 just to get your test. Okay. You're down to $775 as what your profit is. Okay. Drop $150 on hair and makeup, right? That's a conservative estimate.
$150 on hair and makeup?
Yeah.
That's conservative. Yeah, for sure.
Call it $2. Okay.
Are you talking about nails too?
Okay. $3.
$350.
Okay. We're at $350.
Maybe $400 if you're getting a pedi too.
Okay.
And Brazilians, if you're getting your Brazilian done, add another $100.
Okay. So we're at fucking $725 of your $1,000 scene.
Yeah.
Now you have to get yourself to and from set.
Uh-huh.
Which could be, depending on where you're coming from, could be an extra fucking 150 round trip.
Yeah. If you're like flying into LAX and you have to get to somewhere, or even if you're in like.
Oh, I'm just talking about straight Ubers. Like I'm not even talking about like a flight. I'm just.
Just the Ubers. Yeah. LA Ubers. I don't know about those.
Right. Like, because if you were coming from Hollywood to the Valley at the wrong time of day, that's a $50, $60 ride.
Oh my God. That's why I always drive. I'm like, I will take my own car, please. And thank you.
But you're making like maybe $100 profit.
Yeah.
And then that scene gets canceled.
You're SOL.
Yeah, you're out of, even if you get a kill fee, it isn't going to make up for what you've already spent.
I mean, like in my experience, I've had a few shoots canceled and I haven't gotten a kill fee. Like when they give kill fees, that's nice, but the kill fees are small. They're not covering that $750 that you just paid preparing for the shoot, right? Like, and we don't get sick days either. If you get sick, like in November, I came down with the flu, just the flu. I tested for COVID every day. I was like, is this COVID? I almost wanted it to be COVID so it'd be done quicker because the flu just lasted forever. I was like, please just let it be COVID. My God. But it was the flu and like a sinus infection. I was out of work for like 2 weeks and I don't get sick days. That was just lost money. I must have lost several $1,000s worth of shoots in a couple weeks just being sick.
Exactly. And if you have an agent, you're paying an agency fee on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm self-booking, so thank God I don't have to worry about that yet. But like, I could not imagine. And yeah, if you're outsourcing work, if you're outsourcing like management of your social media, if you're outsourcing like assistant work for uploading content, like all of that adds up. And like, if you miss a shoot, like if a shoot gets canceled, like everything can go haywire.
100% you can end up in the red real quick.
And I noticed that. And I remember like feeling a little bit bad about it in my first year, right? Like I had one LA trip that like totally like flopped, right? And I was like so down about it. And then I started to look up like successes of, or like, average annual earnings of small businesses in their first year. And I was like, actually, no, this is pretty on par. Like I'm running a small business and it's going to take time for me to break even. It's going to take time for me to like get to a place where I'm making the amount of money I want to. And now I'm getting to a place where I am and I'm really grateful. It's been about a year. I'm like much more financially stable than I was earlier this year, which is exciting to say. And I have so many more opportunities opening up to myself this year in 2024. So it's like, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, if you don't break even, you are just screwed.
Well, and everyone who's out there working a 9 to 5 and a fucking W-2 job doesn't think about the fact that like, oh, as you said, you get no vacation time, you get no sick time.
None of that. No insurance. You have to pay for your own insurance. You have to pay for everything.
You have to pay for an accountant or someone to handle your fucking
tax. Oh my God.
That is the hose pitfall right there. I've watched so many girls fucking not put shit aside for their taxes. They're like, oh yeah, I'm fucking killing it. And then it's like, oh, you probably shouldn't have bought those Louis Vuitton bags because the IRS wants their fucking money.
22% away just in case. And then if you have extra, then spend it then. Yeah, no, the IRS will come for you for that money, especially if you're a big earner. Oh my God, they will come for you.
Yeah, 100% they will. And this is all shit that isn't taught to fucking people that when they get in the industry.
No, there's no mentorship. There's no like 101. There's no, and that's why like, when I think about young sex workers in particular, like I support young sex workers. I support like 18, 19, 20-year-olds that want to get into the industry. But I say that with a disclaimer that I wish we had more mentorship, we had more education, we had more supports, we had more labor protections. Because you're vulnerable at any age for exploitation, and you're vulnerable at any age to like experience you just don't know what you don't know. And I wish we had more mentorship involved in the industry so that like people would know. Like there's still stigma around sharing what your rates are in the industry. Like people don't always want to share their rates.
They don't. And the problem is also who do you trust? Like
exactly.
If you fall in with the right people, like you fell in with the right people, so you're doing all right. If you had fallen in with the wrong people, who knows? Completely different story.
Yeah.
You could have fallen in with some dude who's like, oh yeah, 500 is a good boy girl rate.
Yeah.
And like, where do you reference that? Where do you fucking be like, no, that dude just gave me bad.
There's not like a Reddit forum necessarily. Maybe there is, but I can name exactly who told me industry standard rates to make sure that I was getting paid appropriately, and it was Summer Hart. Summer Hart sat me aside and was like, don't let them play you. This is what you should be getting paid. This is industry standard, and like was transparent and was really supportive and just wanted to make sure that I knew what I was getting myself into. And it's like, that is the kind of energy we need from like veteran sex workers. And not judgment passed on younger sex workers because, oh, you're too young, your frontal lobe isn't developed, you don't know what you're doing. Then offer some assistance. Like for me, when I was camming at 18, it saved my life. Like you can't deny that sex work has the power to change people's lives and save them, like literally save people's lives. So how can we pass judgment on like a 19-year-old for trying to get into the industry rather than offer them support and guidance?
Well, I don't think we should pass judgment, but I am the first person to try to talk people out of doing sex work.
Yes. When I got into sex work, I got tricked into going to a cam studio when I didn't need to. So I signed a contract with a cam studio. I had a house that I could have cammed out of. It was stupid. I got played because my friend got a referral fee if I signed. I signed away a bunch of my rights. Like literally like and I remember she only told me the pros, never the cons. She only told me like the good things about the industry, about camming, about like how much money you could make. And she never told me what it actually was like. And I'm like, for me now, having been in the industry and having cammed for so long, like whenever I talk to people about getting into the industry, I'm like, here's the pros. And also here's the long list of cons that you need to recognize, because this is a serious and vulnerable industry. Like, and if you don't know what you're getting into, like you need to.
Whenever I get civilian friends who are like, oh, I'm thinking about getting into sex work, I give them nothing but the cons.
Fair, because also if they're a civilian friend who's like, I kind of want to do sex work, they probably don't actually have, like, I don't know if they're actually mentally prepared for what it takes.
Right, and that's why I give them nothing but the cons.
Yeah, because, like, maybe you're not going to survive.
Right, like, if I give you nothing but the cons and you're still like, yeah, I think that might be for me, like, okay, then I'll think about helping you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, I'm just going to be like, yo, first and foremost, this is a lonely place. Like,
lonely, yeah.
Your likelihood of finding a supportive, healthy partner,
slim,
pretty fucking low.
Yeah.
You may not make that much fucking money. The average OF creator makes $160 a month.
Exactly. And people don't think that because they see the OnlyFans girlies who make like 5 figures a month, if not more. Like, oh, like look at how much Black China made on OnlyFans last year, or whatever, millions of dollars, blah, blah, blah.
It's like getting into podcasting because Joe Rogan made $100 million from Spotify.
Yeah, literally, literally.
Like, do you think you're Joe Rogan? Do you? Like, no matter what you think about his content, he's pretty fucking famous.
Yeah. Literally, there's so much that goes into it, and like you're probably not gonna break even immediately. Like there's cons, there's risks involved, heavy risks.
Like you will get an STI at some point.
You will. I got my first STI in the industry from my first pro scene during the chlamydia outbreak this last year when we had our moratorium. I like did my first pro scene, popped immediately, and I was like, well, I guess I'm in the industry now. I've been like...
Wait a minute, you sure you weren't patient zero? No, I'm just
I know. Was I patient zero? But like literally like talking through the risks, and also the biggest risk that I think we like need to prioritize telling people is like, it's not if someone in your life is going to find out, it's when.
Oh, they will.
They're like, you cannot avoid that. And people think they can. Like, oh, I'll cover my face. I'll wear a mask. I'll do this. Someone is going to find out what you're doing, and you need to be prepared emotionally and mentally.
Some jilted dude. We talked about this at the beginning of the show. Some dude you say no to is going to have his ego bruised and will fucking go out of his way to try to hurt you because you said no to him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like you just need to be so mindful that like this cannot always be kept a secret, and it won't always be kept a secret.
It can't.
Like I've never met somebody except like the POV guys who like never show their face and are really like whatever. I have feelings about POV guys. I like to work with some of them, but like some of them I'm like, I don't know. But like, in most cases, like you're gonna be found, and like you need to be mentally and emotionally prepared for that. And like, what happens if like your cousin is scrolling on Pornhub and comes across some fucking video of you? Like, are you prepared to handle that fallout? Like,
I'm of the opinion that you will be found out. Your job,
I agree.
Your job is to market yourself.
Exactly. And if you market yourself well, you'll be found.
Exactly. Because if you're not marketing yourself well, you won't make any fucking money.
You're not going to make it.
Right. The only way you won't get found out is if you're really bad at this.
Yeah, literally. If you're not, no, you're so right. Because people do get found out all the time. I mean, like, I'm really, really blessed that I have a supportive family, and I've been able to tell them like what I do for work and like where I'm at. And like, I can go home to my mom and be like, I just did an 8-person gangbang and I'm so excited. And like,
and she's disappointed that it's not 10.
She's still struggling to wrap her mind around some of it, but she's like, she's very supportive, and she's like, I'm proud of you no matter what you do, and you will excel at everything you do. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. You told me I'm going to excel at my 8-person gangbang. I'm never going to let you live that one down. Like,
well, I mean, you grew up in Vegas. Like,
it's different.
Sex work is, how many people that you went to high school with became strippers?
I can't even count.
Right. It's so socially acceptable in Vegas.
All of my friends in Vegas are sex workers in one way or another, and that wasn't purposeful.
No,
that just is how it happened.
Like, if you grow up in Vegas and don't leave Vegas, your choices are work in a casino or become a sex worker.
Exactly. Hospitality or hospitality.
Yeah, exactly. It's just hospitality.
Yeah, literally. And that's what it is. And like, that's what I found so difficult about living on the East Coast is I didn't find that kind of community like I found in Vegas. Like, I wanted to feel surrounded by sex workers and surrounded by the community, and I didn't feel that as much on the East Coast.
You might not even feel that here. If you move to LA, you might not even feel that here.
Yeah, I'm content in Vegas for now, but I find myself more and more inclined to eventually move to LA, but not anytime soon.
As someone who's lived in both, I much prefer LA, but that's a lot of it due to stuff away from sex work, away from the industry.
Yeah.
LA has so many fucking opportunities away from sex work, away from the industry that Vegas just can't compete with.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. The one thing I like about Vegas is that even though the rent has gone up, it's still marginally cheaper than California. And like
marginally, it's so much cheaper.
Have you seen some?
Oh yeah, no, I was looking at like,
okay,
for less than the rent on this apartment, I could get a whole house in Vegas to rent.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's I can believe that.
Like I definitely found some houses in Henderson and like Porter Ranch.
In Henderson. I'm really lucky with my place too. For the rent I pay, I'm really lucky.
I literally found whole houses that were cheaper than this apartment. So yeah.
That's like the enticing part about staying in Vegas, right? Is like LA is like a 4-hour drive away. I can come out for a day trip, shoot my scenes. I can get like a cheap like hotel room or what, not cheap. Like, okay, let's be real. I'm expensive, but like, you know, like expensive cheap. Like I'm not like balling, but like I can find a good hotel room. I can come out for a night. I can fly for not that expensive. Like, it makes sense for me so far to stay in Vegas and to like split my time. And I like to split my time. I love having two places to like call kind of like home or work. Like I love being like bi state or bi coastal.
You just like being bi a lot.
I do like being bisexual a lot. If we're talking about bi, I do love being bi everything.
That was the joke. Yes.
Yeah, we're on my third.
Self-service show. Yep.
Self-service. I am self-serving. Cheers.
For me, like I felt Vegas was too suburban, and
It's pretty suburban.
I'm also like a big proponent of like having some friends that are away from sex work, away from the industry.
Absolutely.
And Vegas is a shit place to meet new people.
I agree. I try so hard to maintain a few civvy friends because if you don't, your mind will just warp. You can't be work all the time. Everything is content. Everything is work. Everything is the drama in the industry. Everything is like the convention that's next, the this, the that. So like my civilian friends keep me grounded. They keep me grounded. As long as they're accepting and understanding, they keep me grounded.
Well, they're not your friends if they're not.
Exactly. Then they're not worthy of being in my life.
Exactly. You should definitely not tolerate.
I do not. At this point in my big old age, I do not.
Because I definitely have friends in Chicago former friends in Chicago who don't tolerate like, you know, my life choices at this point. I'm like, yeah, then I got no space for you. I'm not conforming my life to what you feel how I should live.
Yeah, no, because why would you? Life is short. You have one life to live. And like, I'm going to do what the fuck I want. Like, I made a drastic career change this year. Like, I went from working in marketing and comms full time to literally working in sex work and adult film full time.
You're still in marketing. You're marketing yourself.
I know, exactly. It's still marketing and comms. It's still the same shit. But I made this like dramatic career change, right? Like, and it was just so necessary.
I don't think you changed careers that much. You just changed the product.
You know, you're making a really good point. I never thought about it like that. And I'm going to think about it like that more often. It's the same skills. You're right. It's the same skills. Not all of them. And that I have to learn some other, like, you know, some other skills. But, you know.
But at the end of the day, you are literally just changing the product you're marketing.
You're so right. That's so, wow, I'm going to use that.
You're welcome to.
Thank you. Free game.
If I'm giving away something, at least I'm giving away something to you on this one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Oh, yep. Let me not be bad.
But, and that's another thing that people don't think about when they think about getting into sex work. This isn't the early 2000s where you can just show up to set, do your scenes, and go about your day and rely on fucking Vivid or Wicked to do all the marketing for you, to fucking make you a fucking star.
No, that's not happening. Like, you have to promote your studio scenes yourself. And it's like, it's so funny because today I actually went on Google. I always Google my name just to double check if any of my scenes have come out because you don't get like alerts a lot of the time.
I mean, you can definitely set them. You can set Google alerts for your own name.
Just made it.
It happens occasionally.
You just made a great point. I knew that already. Okay, so I'm going to do that. But the point being, like, I usually just do it. Also, I'm like a little bit like obsessed with myself. So I like to look at what images people are posting, the screen caps, see if they're good, see if they got a good ass shot, you know? But like literally, I found out a scene is being released like in like a couple weeks through a Google image search result. And like it hasn't been promoted yet. So now I'm promoting it on my social because yeah, a lot of the times you have to do the marketing and the promo yourself.
I mean, that's how you ended up here. You came to me.
I did.
You did, and I zero shame in it.
I'm self-booking. So like a lot of the work that I do is like persistency and like making myself as known as possible and like building a reputation for myself as somebody who's professional and kind and like really just willing to show up and do the job. Like this is my job. This is the first time I've drank on the job. So, we'll see how this goes. Y'all don't judge me.
Judge her a little. No, I'm kidding.
Just a little, but in a good way, a sexy way. I don't know.
But the fact that you were like willing to make the hustle and like you're like, oh, hey, this isn't the first podcast you've done. Like I did a little research. Like you've done other shows out there. Like how many year one performers are like out on that hustle? They're like, oh, how can I market myself better? I can get myself on podcasts.
Yeah. I will say like, and that goes back to my marketing and stuff, right? Like I'm trying to start doing my own PR because I'm realizing like, if I don't, one, nobody else is going to do it for me. And if I'm not outsourcing, it's not going to happen. And I have the skills. Like I can write press releases. I can write inquiries to like podcast producers or like directors with studios. And that's all of what my work has been as a self-booking performer has been persistency and like literally like contacting people and putting myself out there and like sometimes falling flat on my face and sometimes not. Like a lot of the times not. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, most people want to have someone on their set that's like, oh, you're showing ambition. You're articulate. Why would I not want you on my fucking podcast?
Yeah, like you're professional. You obviously have a desire to be here. You're not just trying to fuck around. Like you want to be a part.
Can we have a little more fucking around, please?
Let's fuck around.
I'm
with the shit.
I know.
We get to that segment. You let me know. We can switch into the fuck around segment. We could talk more.
Whenever it gets there. Like, I didn't mean to derail you on that.
You said let's swoop.
Nah.
We got to fuck around some more. Find out and fuck around.
But that's how this show goes. But I, as someone who books the show, like never would look down on someone reaching out and be like, hey, I'd like to do your show.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's as long as it's done respectfully and professionally, like
even if it's done disrespectfully, motherfucker, you piece of shit, I want to be on your show.
Yeah, you'd still be like, oh, all right, maybe.
Yeah, probably be like, all right, cool. You want to do the show?
You're a chill guy.
I don't take too much shit personally.
Okay, that's, I got to develop that tough skin for sure. I am already developing that tough skin. A year in, I'm developing more of a tougher skin. But wow, I think persistence is key. I was just talking to a mutual on Twitter about how like they were impressed with how many scenes I booked this year by myself because I'm self-booking. And I was like explaining, I was like, persistence is key. You just need to make yourself known to these people, like as much as possible. Like let them know your availability. Kind of be a little, not annoying, but like I'll message directors once a month and be like, here's my availability for the month. Would love to shoot with you.
Right.
And that's the whole message. And
at the end of the day, I feel like most producers and directors want someone who wants to be enthusiastic about being on their set.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to reach out to an agent, and is this person going to actually want to fucking be here?
Or even know what this is, like
right.
Even know what site they're shooting for, like even know what they're showing up for, like, and that's what I appreciate about self-booking a lot is like, one, I get to tailor what sites and studios I'm working for a lot more, and I get to tailor the people I work with a lot more. And also, I really do like the challenge of figuring out how to do this shit on my own. Like, I think it's really, really unique and like fun and like challenging and like I love to prove people wrong. That's like a big Capricorn thing, right? Like,
do you think you have a lot of doubters out there? You think people are...
I got haters. I got myself a fair share of haters and doubters.
Good.
Exactly. If you're not doing well, if you don't got some haters.
Exactly. Like, if you are not ruffling some feathers, that means you're doing a shit job of marketing. Because that means not enough people are fucking aware of you.
Literally, exactly. I had one person in my life call me a failure recently, and I was like, a failure? You are so out your damn mind. Like, and maybe that sounds narcissistic, but like, I also know like the success I've been able to amass in my first year. And like, it's not exactly equal to the amount of success that others have been able to achieve in their first year, right? Like some people get into this industry and the first year really decides whether they succeed or they flop, right?
Yeah, but the average is still 6 months in this fucking industry altogether.
The average is 6 months?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the average
So I've already beat it.
Right, you've already fucking beat it. Are you fucking paying your bills? Are you making your rent?
I'm paying my bills. I'm making my rent.
Like, that's success.
That is success. As long as I can pay those bills and make that rent, I don't give a damn.
Yes, it would be nice to be at the top of the fucking mountain in the the 0.001% of OnlyFans
course.
creators' money.
And I have no doubt I'll get there.
The fact that you could turn around and be like, doing what I want to do for a living, creating what I want to create,
Yeah.
I can pay my fucking bills,
Yeah.
is more than how many fucking people can say.
Exactly. And living a life that you love. Like, I worked an office job and I fucking hated it. I hated it. I wanted to go back to sex work the whole time. Like, I wanted to be doing sex work. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I didn't want to cam anymore. Like, I don't like camming full time.
Well, and camming's a 9 to 5.
Exactly. It's way more. Like, it's just different. It's different. And then I got into mainstream and like porn and I was like, no, this is it. This feels good. This is what I want to do. And like it's taken some people in my life some time to wrap their heads around, but like it is actually my dream to like make it in this industry. And like as a Capricorn again, like I'm so committed to like achieving my dreams. Like I have no doubt that I will get there one day, whether or not it's 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Well, and also the people that can't wrap their brains around it, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah.
That is 100%
That's
their fucking problem.
Wisdom was dropped.
Back to the comment section thing about the having the thick skin for people in the comment section, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
If you wouldn't take these people as advice, why would you take their criticism?
Literally.
You don't know these fucking people. You don't know if they have 2 functioning brain cells rubbing together.
Oh my God. My mom always says, like, I have 2 brain cells. One's lost and the other is lonely. And I think about that all the time with these people. Like, one of your brain cells is lost and the other is lonely. Like,
yeah, I literally had a dude today comment on like one of the Instagram posts like, "Oh, who is she?" When the person who was doing the show was obviously tagged him.
Can you read?
This person? Oh well, what page are they on the hub? I'm like, bro,
just Google.
Do you want me to like fucking rub it out for you too? Like. Like put in a little effort here, man. Like it's just like, what, you want to rub it out for me because you can't touch? Like, did that comeback even make sense to you?
Like, no, it didn't. Obviously, you know that Vine where it's like, hey, what's up? I'm Jared. I'm 19 and I never fucking learned how to read.
Well, and my response to him was,
that's him.
I'm not describing my dick to you for fucking free of charge, man.
Oh my God, people are so.
Like, why would I be bothered by that?
People are so fascinating. Like some of the reply, I love my reply guys, but some of the guys that reply are just like not even worth the time.
Well, and at the end of the day, no one who is thriving and successful is going to take time out of their busy schedule to try to bring someone else down.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like, why would you do that? You're too busy being about your business that pays you.
Exactly.
That's the thing, and that's what I return to all the time. I want to mind the business that pays me all the time. Like what is actually benefiting me? What is actually going to further my career? What is actually going to like build my reputation? And if it doesn't align with that, then like I'm uninterested. Like, why am I bothering with this petty drama? Why am I bothering with like catty like infighting? Like, it's just not worth it. Like, sometimes I'll like put my foot down about shitty like male performers or something. Like,
yeah, but that's
different.
That potentially affects your livelihood and affects you as a person. Like that has real fucking repercussions.
Yeah.
Not like some fucking idiot in the comment section.
Yeah, that has real repercussions and repercussions for other people that could work with them in the future. You know, that's different. But like the people in the comment sections just talking their shit. Literally, like I had this guy on my Instagram, like who would just keep commenting like, you've got such a big nose. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. Like, is this a good thing or a bad thing for you? You're being so vague. Like, are you into it? Are you not? Like, just tell me. Like, I need to know. And he just kept commenting that. And then I was eventually like, I'm blocking this motherfucker. I don't like, why am I entertaining any of this? Like, it's just not worth my time.
Oh, don't block him. Like it helps boost engagement.
Oh, that's fair.
Like, I don't block any. Like, I get motherfuckers all the time. Like, look at this fat piece of shit. Like, dog, I shower every day. I see what I look like in the mirror. Like, you're not telling me, like, yeah, I don't have a fucking six pack. Don't give a fuck.
It does boost engagement. You're so right. Maybe I will unblock him because he was commenting on all that shit.
Right.
It's just like one of those things where it's like, an insecurity that they push. And they know. I think a lot of the like mean reply guys know what buttons to push.
Right. And you just have to be above it.
The tough skin. Exactly. You have
It's not even a tough skin. It's like, you are literally trying to manipulate me. By me being upset by this, I am giving this moron power. You really want to give a stupid motherfucker
You're right.
power over you? No.
You're so right. No. And like, why would I give them power over my emotional response or my emotional reaction?
Right. Instead, I engage with these motherfuckers. I get into fights in the comments section.
I saw you tweet something about that like today. And I was like, oh my God, I got to look at your tweets more often. Because I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love the beef. Like, I love that you go hard in the paint.
Because it'll just drive engagement. Like, I will go 20 lines deep with someone in the YouTube comment section. And when they're just like, blah, 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 like, by the way, thanks for driving an engagement. And that truly shuts them up.
Yeah, then they're like, oh.
I've had people delete full fucking strings. Me and Onyx Muse went hard on someone who was just talking shit about Onyx on one of the clips I posted on Instagram. The string went fucking pages. And both me and Onyx were like, by the way, thanks for driving an engagement, dog. And he deleted the whole post.
Wow. He was like, fuck y'all. I'm hurt.
Because he's like, oh, you're just white knighting for someone. She won't fuck you, bro. I'm like,
what? That's not what this is.
Hey, man, this is someone I know in real life. I'm not just some random internet dude being like, oh my God, don't talk mean about this porn star.
Yeah, that's somebody you know. And also just like, don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Like, I literally just said that today on Twitter. I think it was today. It's like, if you don't like how a performer looks, if you don't like something about a performer, like, it costs nothing to shut the fuck up.
Well, but this is the most exciting thing people have in their lives.
Literally.
That's why they're doing it, because they have nothing better going on.
Hobby.
Right. Because they're not a successful or happy person. Because a successful or happy person would have better shit going on than to try to make you feel bad.
Literally. It's like, damn, y'all, can you get a hobby? Can you play pool or something? Like, I don't know. What do you do? Like, play poker. I don't know. Play Settlers of Catan. That'll take up a lot of your time. Like,
right? Start a Monopoly game with your family. Start some real hate.
Please, yeah, really get into the hate shit. Like,
you can't let these people bother you because
exactly, you're right.
They don't fucking like. Yes, I appreciate everyone who watches the show. I do. Even if you're watching to fucking hate me, I appreciate your views because you drive engagement. You generate money for me.
Thanks.
So, like, please.
Thanks, motherfucker.
Talk shit in the comments. Like, do you know how upset I get when I'm like, I go to log into my YouTube comment section and like, there aren't any fucking censored comments?
Oh, you're like, damn it. I wanted to get into something today.
It's like, there's nothing held for review. No one had, like, did I not say something fucking spicy enough for someone to have a shitty take?
Next time I'll do better.
Right. Like, I want your shitty takes. I want the engagement.
Yeah, for real. That is a great point. I'm going to go unblock that guy.
Yeah, let him come. Like, you know what your face looks like.
I do. I'm very aware. I'm like, you are not telling me anything that I have not been told since I was 3.
Right.
Like,
and guess what?
A lot of people fucking love it.
And yeah, exactly. Think about that. Like, if I was unattractive, would people be paying me thousands of dollars to have me on their set? No.
Literally. Would people be flying me out all across the country, all across the world to have me on their set? No.
Exactly.
It's so silly. But like, I think a lot of these men just feel like they have to take women down a peg because maybe they're attracted to them and they feel intimidated. Like they just feel like they have to like
I don't even think
nag a little bit.
I don't even think it's that fucking serious. I think it's how many fucking positive comments do you actually respond to?
Do I respond? Oh,
I respond to a lot of my positive comments, actually.
Okay, but not everyone does.
I like to engage with my fans. I at least like interact with them. Like I don't, because like I have some fans who just like always like reply the same like GIFs or emojis. But like I generally try to be pretty engaging with my fans, and I'm learning like boundaries around that as well.
But not everyone does.
Exactly. Because also once the bigger you get, like as I only have like 11,000 followers right now, and like I'm already overwhelmed by my notifications. Like I cannot imagine what it's like for people with 100,000, for people with 75,000. Like I could not.
I honestly, like, I think I've talked about this on air, but like when Sheree DeVille did the show a while back, we posted a couple clips from that episode, and she said as a collaborator, so it's on both our timelines. So I'm getting all of her traffic. I felt like my phone physically gained weight from my notifications.
Literally, like, oh.
Because Sheree has 4 million followers. 4 million on Instagram. I literally could not see notifications. Like, it was just a wall of notifications. Like, if you responded to any other post, I didn't see it. You fucking followed the account, I didn't see it. Because it was literally just...
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to brag about the shit. I literally went to Sheree and went, how do you do it? Because she runs her own socials. Like, how do you do this on a daily? Like, I don't understand. It does not compute how you do this on the daily. But that's how a lot of like the positive comments get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Because
the negative comments stick out so much, right?
And people react to them. And that's how some of these dudes are manipulating people into getting the attention they want.
Exactly, because they're wanking off to it low key sometimes.
They just want the attention. It's like being a class clown in high school. Like,
yeah. Oh, this hot girl paid attention to me. Well, I don't think it's really hot. I think she's kind of ugly, but blah, blah, blah.
It's just, you want the attention, not, you don't care how you get it. You just want the attention.
Yeah. You want to be recognized. You want your masculinity asserted. Like,
When you quote tweet some motherfucker who's talking shit, like, don't be this dude. He's like, she acknowledged me. I exist. I exist to this girl.
You're so right. Damn. I'm learning things. I thought I was just going to get drunk. Now I'm learning things. I better get on my phone and take some notes.
Thankfully, we're recording this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to break to you. We're not just hanging out here. We are recording stuff for the internet.
I know. I will be listening to it. My boyfriend makes me listen to all my podcasts. And like normally I get nervous about listening to them because I'm like, I don't want to hear if I did bad. I'm so nervous. I don't want to hear my voice. But he's so supportive. He's like, we're listening to every single one.
So besides this one, what's your favorite appearance on another podcast? Shout somebody out.
Shout somebody out? Dick Dingle.
Oh, the Dangler.
Yeah, I really liked his podcast a lot. But like there's been Misfits Effects was awesome with Sarah Lace and Prince Rostar, or that Prince.
Yeah, Rostar. Rostar's my homie.
Yeah, they were awesome. And then I just did one with In the Tub as well. And I'm going to be doing one with Jesse Sage later this month as well. My goal, and I'm just going to speak it into existence, is to do one with Holly Randall.
Wow. Not the pinnacle.
It's the goal. It's
all good.
Yeah, it's like the like 5-year plan, you know. Like I'm a Capricorn, so I have like very.
Wow, I feel like such a slut now. You're just like, yeah, Slayer was easy. Getting on and now we drink.
No, this is not. You said you feel like a slut.
Just fucking easy to turn out.
Yeah, you're the slut at this table for sure. You're the slut.
You don't know what my body count is.
Okay, I'm interested now.
I mean,
you said, "Oh no!" Suddenly, I forgot.
I don't know the numbers.
Oh, it's that big then.
It's not small.
Over 100, under 100.
I'm assuming over 100. Like I literally don't know.
Okay. I keep a black book list.
For a dude of average attractiveness, like I do all right for myself.
Yeah, no, I think you certainly could. Don't worry.
Could do.
Let me not disrespect you. Do.
I'm not losing any sleep if you do disrespect me on that.
You said I don't give a damn.
Right? Like I know what the reality is.
You do. Look, I have doubled. I think I tweeted about this, but I have like, I think it was 321% increase in my body.
You definitely
count.
said that on Dick Dangle's show. I caught that.
Oh yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got that. In the last year, I have double or like, triple, however much my body count.
How's that possible? There's only 20 dudes that do porn. How is that possible? Did you only sleep with like 5 people beforehand?
Well, no, I'll give numbers. I'll give numbers. I'm not ashamed. So I had slept with like about like 20 people before I started porn, and I was
Like a fucking virgin over here.
basically virginal. I know. What the fuck?
How many of those were you in relationships with?
Not many. I had a lot of group sex in college. I had a lot of lesbian group sex in college. I'll be real.
Whoa, in toxic male land, do girls even count as bodies?
What? In toxic male land, probably not, but in my land, they do.
Oh no, they definitely count in the real world. But like
Real world. In toxic male land, they might be like, that doesn't count.
well, because like all these toxic male fucking podcasts are like your body count. Like, well, if there's not penetrative sex with like an organ, does
They're
that count?
penetrating me with other stuff, so I don't care.
Oh, if I'm counting people that I've digitally penetrated, wow, or that like has their pussy's been on my mouth, like.
Yeah, so I think before porn, I probably had like slept around with like 20-ish people, and like that's like I was young. I was like 25.
I mean, the female average is 7. You're doing fine.
Thank you. And then now since
Oh no, sorry. The female average is 4. The male average is 7.
Since porn, like since starting my career in porn, I think I'm almost at 100 in a year. So I went from like 20 to 100 in a year, like nearly 100 in a year. So it's like pretty significant. Like I'm racking those bodies up, and like I feel pretty like I'm a baddie. Like y'all can't touch me. Like I can never meet another guy. Like maybe I can meet other guys who have like taught me, but eventually I won't be able to. If I keep in this career, I'm gonna be like,
no, because you're gonna end up.
You got bodies, bro.
You're gonna end up sleeping with the same people over and over again. There's only so many.
I do. I have recognized that. I've started to add like keys to my black book list.
You're just like tally mark.
Yeah, tally marking it. I'm literally tally marking it because I've always kept a black book list. It's been like a tradition between me and an old best friend for the last 13 years.
Yeah, I literally I don't know what year I actually lost count, but it was. The comment section's coming for me for this one. They're like, no, dude. Like, I don't know when I lost count, but like, there are literally people like, I don't remember their names. Like, there's some people I didn't actually ever know their names, but there's definitely some people who were like, oh yeah, I definitely went on multiple dates and hooked up with a girl who had, I remember the most about her sex is she had purple hair and wore like multicolored socks to bed. Like,
That's a lot of detail.
I don't remember her name.
How many times did you sleep with her?
5 or 6 times.
Oh, you one of those.
I may have a history of being a fuckboy.
You a little bit of a fuckboy. It's okay. I'm a little bit of a lesbian fuckboy sometimes too. Like
this was in my 20s.
Exactly. In my 20s, I'm still in my 20s.
Right. Like I've settled down a little bit. Like I don't think. Yeah, as far as I know, I haven't fucked anyone who I don't remember their name. Besides someone accusing me of that at some point. But anywho, that was a jilted ex-lover who, gave me chlamydia. So
yeah, I feel that. So like the most anonymous people I have on my black book list are just from my glory hole scene that I did. I have like Anon 1, Anon 2. I checked all their tests, but I wasn't writing down their names.
Right, there's 2257 paperwork.
Yeah, so it exists. Like I could find out their names, but it's just like Anon 1, Anon 2, Anon 3. Like, so there are plenty of people that I've had sex with who like anonymously. Like I have their 2257s, I have all that, but like. There are people I don't know. I don't remember their names for sure in the industry, at least. There's been, and sometimes I have to go back and check because I'm like, who the fuck have I slept with this year? Like, and then I was thinking, I did some like girl math, and I was like, that's at least like what, like 5 people a month? Like, damn, I've been hustling like for a first year in the industry. Like, I've been popping this pussy. Like, okay.
But at the end of the day, your body count doesn't matter.
It doesn't at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like literally, it was you. I was watching one of your clips where you were talking to Girthmaster about an ex, and you were like, it doesn't matter who she was with before because she's here now, and that's all that matters. And I remember watching that clip and being like, oh, I fuck with this man. I fuck with this man.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't have Girthmaster's dick, but if like we hooked up with the same person, if she's happy to be here now, I'm happy to be here too.
Also, Girthmaster, if you're listening to this, you could always slide.
You'll have to go across the world for that. He's back in Australia.
That's a long flight, and you have weird bugs out there, but I would do it.
Australia's pretty rad. I've been.
Really?
Yep.
But what about the weird bugs?
In the cities, you're fine.
Okay, if you live in a city, I'll slide.
I have to go back to Australia and try to fuck somebody there because like it's one of my life goals to fuck on every continent.
Oh, wow. How many continents have you nailed? Literally, but
Europe, Asia, America, obviously, South America. So 4 out of 7.
You're doing great.
Didn't fucking Africa, didn't fucking Australia.
And Girthmaster's not your type.
No, I like being able to walk.
Yeah. I sometimes I don't.
I definitely, when I was in Australia, think I could have, but I zigged where I should have zagged and got a little too drunk.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck. And when I was in Africa, I was just like, I was in South Africa. I was just like, yeah, there was no really opportunities, and like AIDS was really prevalent there. So it was just like, maybe I'll import someone to fucking Africa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a weird goal to like, I want to fuck in all 50 states and I want to fuck on all 7 continents.
That's not that weird of a goal. I would do it. I would fuck around with a goal like that. That's cool.
How many states have you had sex in? At least 3. At least 3. I'm sure Florida, California, Nevada.
3. Oh my God, at least 3. Okay. Let's think. Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Florida, New Orleans.
New Orleans is its own state now. Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. Sorry, Louisiana. Texas. Yeah, you get me drunk. Well, I'm getting me drunk.
You got yourself drunk. I just provided the alcohol.
You provided the alcohol, and it's Don Julio, and Don Julio made a fool of me. You know that Kehlani song? Don Julio done made a fool. Whatever. Okay, so wait, we're to Texas, Nevada, obviously, California, and then if we're thinking like territories, Puerto Rico. So I don't know how many that is. A decent amount.
That's a decent amount.
Not enough though. I gotta catch up. Like,
right.
Fuck. Damn, but I don't want to have sex in like Kansas.
Why not?
What the fuck is there to do in Kansas?
Barbecue.
I don't like barbecue. I'm flexi-vegan.
Oh, you gotta try Arthur Bryant's. It's really good.
Okay, I'll try it anyway. Because the flexa part, okay?
Right.
Yeah, I'll try it.
I've been to 45 states. I got 20-ish like under my belt for fucking.
That's great.
No, it's not. I've been to 45. That's a lot of failure.
I know. Think about it as a lot of success. Half glass half full, not half empty.
Not for a lack of trying in Montana, but women in Montana are weird.
Montana seems like a hard state.
I was definitely hitting on this girl, and she was just talking about like, oh, I'd love to travel someday. After I settle down, have kids, and they go off to college, then I'd love to travel. I'm just like, you and I do not live. We live in very different worlds, lady.
Not what I'm looking for.
Like, I was leaving for Japan, and like a week after that, I'm just like,
I'm gone.
I was there on a business trip, and I'm just like, oh. Why would you live your life like that? Like, why? Oh, yeah, in 20 years from now, I'm going to try to start living. Like,
no,
what?
Live now. You could die any day, bro. You better live now.
Right? Like, some moose could run you over in Montana.
Literally, it's Montana. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. What are those gun laws? Like, you about to get popped on the side of the road. Like, I don't know. Like, you better live life like it's short. Like,
right. It's short and unpredictable. Like, as I've said multiple times on here, 5-year plans were bullshit pre-pandemic. The pandemic definitely illustrated that like 5-year plans were complete bullshit. Like every person who died during the pandemic planned to be here in 5 years.
oh, wow. That's macabre, but true as fuck.
Right. So why the fuck are you like, oh, I'm going to do that down the road? Do that shit now.
You're making a great point because literally just today I was at happy hour because I pre-gamed coming here naturally. I was like, we're going to drink, so I have to pre-game. So I was literally just talking about that. I was like, no, I'm claiming this shit for next year. Like, not next year, like as soon as possible next year. Like, I'm claiming what I want to do in this career now. Like, I don't want to say I want to do it in 5 years. I don't want to say I want to do it in 10 years. Like, I think I can do it now if I set my mind to it, because I think if I set my mind to things, like I'm really fucking ambitious and I will not let up until I'm stubborn. I am stubborn. So I'm not gonna let up until I get it, you know?
Then fucking do that shit.
I'm going to. That is
I want a pinky swear on that shit. I want a pinky swear.
Oh, I take pinky swears very seriously.
Well, you're the one doing it on camera.
It's on camera. Are we on camera? Can you see? It happened. I'm gonna do that shit.
You're gonna do that shit. You pinky swore to it.
I don't break pinky promises.
Fuck yeah.
I do not break a pinky promise.
Good.
I do not break a pinky promise.
Like, there's very few things that are sacred in this world. Pinky swears are one of them.
They are. No, they really are. Have you ever done the pinky promise where you kiss to seal it?
I never have.
Okay, I can show you without us having to actually kiss, but do this. You do a pinky promise like this, and then you kiss your thumb while you're holding it, which we can't do right now, but kiss your thumb, and then do the pinky promise again, and then you just put your thumbs together, and then you kissed on it. And then it's super locked in. You can't deny that. You just kissed, pinky promised on it.
That's your pinky promise that we just super locked in.
Oh, shit. I'm going to do it.
All right.
I'm going to get this shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to get this shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I hate to do it, but it is last call on this motherfucker. We are going to get you out here. Do you believe it or not? We've been doing this for over 2 hours.
Really?
Oh.
I could keep talking to you forever.
Well, eventually you'll have to leave.
I know. I do have to leave, yeah.
Boyfriend might get a little upset if I just we just sit here and bullshit forever.
We do have to drive back to Vegas, right now.
Right. He's just doing laps around my apartment. He's
Literally, and also he has to drive the whole way home because now I'm drunk, so I already feel bad. I was like, just so you know, I'm gonna be drunk.
Well, before we get you out of here, where can they find you on the things?
Thank you for asking. So you can find me on Twitter at Nina Nova XOXO. And you can find all my links at allmylinks.com/Nina Nova XOXO.
Hell yeah. Nina, it was an absolute pleasure. You're welcome back whenever you want.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
I will.
All right, I'll take you up on it.
But until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.